Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the final House Open Cup number 6, the final cup of the year of 2023. It is good to be back. It is good to be here. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to your bi-weekly dose of Polish StarCraft. If you're curious, what the hell is the House Open Cup? It is a regional bi-weekly tournament, region locked to the region of Bologna of Poland. Only players from Poland can be a part of this, and this is the final event, the final bi-weekly of the year of 2023. And here we go, spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Site Delta, we have our Polish Zerg player. He has a bit of a reputation, the cheesiest Zerg in all of Poland. The blue Zerg representing Team MY Fixed, it is Snogstar. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Polish Terran player, the red Terran. He is Angry. You're a classic Terran player. Here we go. Exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys wish to have a look at the bracket yourselves. The bracket is finalized. And of course, we are here in the first round. The bracket this week is a little bit smaller than usual, and it makes plenty of sense. Again, we just wrapped up with DreamHack Atlanta over the weekend. ESL Masters Winter did come to a close, and players are returning back home. Players are hoping to rest here for the holidays, so we're missing some of our regular big heavy hitters, specifically a Laser, Spirit, and Geralt. All three of them traveled to the Americas to compete, and all three of them are missing here. So it looks like it makes sense they're just taking a bit of a break from an intense weekend of StarCraft. All three of them will be backing off, and that means that the tournament is up for grabs. Usually, you know, those are the players that are contesting against, oh, I say usually, you know, for the most part, Spirit and Laser are the two contesting against who will be the champion. We have Geralt, arguably the best Protoss player in all of Poland, not here either. So now it's up for grabs. Now it's about who has the best PvP. So that's pretty much what this tournament is going to turn into, which is also why I want to feature the Terrans and the Zergs while I can, because the reality is the big names now in the tournament are Papi, Rodzin, Art, Cristiano, Ziomek. All players have one thing in common. All players are Protoss. So we'll get to the Protoss. We'll get to the. Oh, don't you worry. I know you're all clamoring for some Polish action, some PvP action. We got you. We got you some PvP. Don't worry. Plenty of it. I'm sure. We'll get there. Until then, we will be enjoying this Zerg versus Terran. I'm pretty sure the only ZVT of the tournament. So here we go. We do have a Rax expand from Angry. Interesting that he's going for a CC on the high ground, and for good reason. I mentioned before, Snogstar, he is the cheesiest Zerg player in the country, so it makes sense for Angry to open up very defensively here in the early game. I imagine specifically because of the reputation that Snogstar has. Snogstar, using that reputation to his advantage, is going to be going hatch gas pool into a third base. To be fair, this gas or this link speed is finishing up quite quickly, and we are staying in gas, by the way. This is not of the norm. Usually you don't stay in gas without good reason. So where are we going to be investing that gas? We could go into a fast Evo chamber for fast +1 melee. If that was the case, we would have already seen the Evo chamber, and now we see why. Roaches. Roach Warren is thrown down. So now we understand the purpose for this gas. It is to facilitate for roach production here for our Zerg player. Meanwhile, we are just saturating on 2 bases, getting our third up and running. Likewise, Angry going for a 1-1-1. Interesting. So very important to take note of. Oh, this is a unique. Wait, what? This doesn't make any sense. It's a 1-1-1, but we do not react around Hellions, by the way. We are reacting out Vanilla Marines, and we're prioritizing medevac production for a drop. Okay, so on the one, okay, a couple of things. One, it's a 1-1-1 opener, which is aggressive. Delayed third. Third base is very late here for the Terran as a result, but this is so odd. We're rushing into a Marine drop, but as I just mentioned, no stim. It's too early for stim, so this is going to be a vanilla Marine drop. This is very unorthodox, very out of the norm, designed to catch the Zerg player off guard, but the Zerg is already getting into roach production. Marines have been revealed, medevacs as well. Snogstar is going to be getting ready back at him. Behind this, we're going into BC. Fusion. Okay, it's a 1-1-1 double medevac drop into a tech lab into BC production. Overlord is diving in for a scout. Everything looks pretty normal here for the time being. The tech lab on the starport is very suspect, so we'll see if we go in for a further scout. Third base has been revealed. Double drop is finding another overlord on the map. That's going to be supply blocking. Looking at supply block Snogstar. These things, they're getting damage done. Are we going to go further into the main base? Are we going to scout? Are we going to get the scout off? Meanwhile, the double drop going into the main. What do we have to defend? We have 5 roaches, soon to be 8 roaches here from Snogstar. He should be able to deflect this, but it's going to be a tough hold here. Remember, not the most potent Marines. They are, again, vanilla, 0-0, no stim, no combat shields. They do get deflected. But the BC is in production, and Snogstar doesn't know. Now, this looks like Banshee. No cloak, which is a little bit suspect, but it does kind of look like Banshees here. We could assume that maybe it is going to be BC. But we only have a piece of the puzzle and no spores yet. Uh-oh. I don't see any spores. I don't see any more queens. How many queens do we have? 5. 5 queens when we should have at least 8 queens to defend. And we are going for a mech transition. The mine is not going to go off, but yeah, additional factories have been thrown down. It's spotted. The Overlord gets pushed into the fusion core. It gets pushed in by the Marine. We know we have a cancel on the 4th base. Uh-oh. You cancel the 4th, we pick up, we drop into the main, we've only lost 2 Marines. Only 2 Marines have gone down so far, but we do get eyes on everything. But do we? Snogstar, he is not reacting. No additional queens in production. We have the lair, no spire either. This is getting out of hand. It's getting out of hand. Mindshot is going to be zoning away the army as well, and we're not going to be wasting it on the Overlord. Love the on burrow. Ooh, big Mindshot goes off, queen goes down. We are down to 3 queens. 3 queens to defend. BC rocks up. Only 3 queens shoot up. This one battle cruiser may just end the game. And to be fair, you know, the Marines did their part. They were distracting Snogstar. He wasn't able to confirm what was happening. Wasn't able to get eyes across the map. We're down to these only 3 queens to defend. Now only 2 queens, and they do not have engine for transfuse. No spore crawlers whatsoever. Behind this tank production, Hellions again. Remember, it was a mech transition out of this. The Marines are getting out of hand here in the main base. Drones are falling as well. Spores are too late. Every queen has gone down. And this is just getting out of control, getting out of hand, becoming far too much. Queens are now trickling out here, but we can dive on them. Spore crawlers are finishing. We get 1 spore in the natural. At the same time, a big roach counterattack. But we have mass. Not the best unit to defend. Mass Hellion against roaches, not ideal. Cyclones would have been much better. Cyclones would have been, oh, that would have been game. So the Hellions are having a bit of a hard time cleaning this up. 11 SCVs go down. We are running out of roaches. Another BC arrives as well, and we should shut this down. Meanwhile, the BC that was across the map, did we return? We did not. The BC died. So Angry doesn't have the best lead, to be honest. His lead isn't amazing at the moment, but the roaches are trickling in and trickling into their deaths. Behind this, still no Spire, no Hydrogen. How many queens do we have available? We have 4 queens, and we just go straight for the middle. The drones! They're lining up! No! The workers line up, 6 of them go down. Oh, that could have been so much worse, but regardless, 6 workers are still pretty damn good. As we head towards the 4th base, there would be 4. Spore is not done. Not yet. We can go for whatever we want at this point, forcing more lost mining time. The Spore is going to finish, though. BC is going to get a bit of DPS done on that as we do wander in between the bases. The queens are amassing, to be fair. 1 BC is not going to be enough. The Hellions to get back in. 15. Oh, God. No, they bunch up. No. 19. 20 drones that go down. And that battle cruiser still not done here. Still wreaking havoc between the bases. There's a queen for this 1 transfuse. But transfuse there on the queens, and this BC will teleport back home. Back at home, we're amassing tanks, we're amassing Hellions as well. Going double armory production. Yamato on the way, so we are continuing BCs here for Angry. All the BCs. And Snogstar is all in. His cutting workers at 47. He lost so many drones here already. He's lost 36 workers in total, so he is completely all in. But can he pull this off? I mean, with good enough biles, maybe. Some of these tanks are bunched up. Not many Hellions here to support either, as we are diving in. The Hellions are across the map, not doing much. We're getting on top of the tanks. 2 tanks go down. 2 fall. It looks like the others are so low as well. Can we get on top of them? We pile, but the piles are not quite connecting. It looks like we take down another 2, 4, 5, 6 tanks go down. 22 SCVs as well. Snogstar getting a lot done. Again, the Hellions were needed back at home. We needed some kind of support instead of just pure tank. Yeah, pure tank was not going to be good enough. But the BCs will hold on. Despite that, this is getting very messy between our players. Hellions getting into another mineral line, killing more workers. The BCs will defend. They will clean this up, but that was 31 dead workers. Suddenly, the economies are looking that much closer. We're kind of waddling into our deaths here, but okay, we do pull back. And this is kind of anyone's game. I do still think that, I mean, Angry still has better economy. So 100%, especially with these mules, he has a better economy here compared to his opponents. What is the new Cyclone? What is it? It doesn't exist. This is a very old school form of mech here. This is very like August 2023, you know, like just tank Hellbats BC, and I mean the Ling Roach is not doing too badly, to be honest. Ay. It's not doing too badly here, but here we go. We do clean up some of these things that BCs have amassed. There are 3 of them now, and we can Yamato. We can Yamato the army as well. Spire now on the way. Snogstar has droned. He's up to 62 workers at this point, but we're getting ready for another big Hellion counterattack. We're going straight for the mineral line, straight for that 4th base. The drones. Some of them will go down, but the roaches are in position. At the same time, BC is not quite taking advantage of this. This base is so exposed. We can go for it, but alas, we go for the queens instead. We go for the Yano. 3 queens go down. Every queen is going to go down. GG gets called. The BCs reign supreme. And Angry will take game number 1. Ooh, GG. Oh my god, that was chaotic. Nonsense. So that's what that was. Ay. GG, well played. That is going to be game 1 in the book here for Angry. I mean, for the most part, he was in control of this game for the most part. As in, he was, you know, dictating the pace of the game at least. Shout out to Snogstar. He made it chaotic. He made things very scrappy. He was doing a surprising amount of damage. A big reason for that is the transition from Angry. I wasn't in love with it. Going mass tank Hellion. We saw that there are vulnerabilities with that composition, and it's quite fragile as well. There wasn't a lot to support the tanks. The Hellions happened to be moving out, and with that, things got a little bit closer than they otherwise should have been. Regardless, GG, well played. Angry will take the first game, but I see a world where maybe we can have more of a back and forth. As we get into this, though, a big shout out to Kashim. Thank you so much. I didn't notice during the last game. Resubscribed 3 months. Dzień dobry, papi. Dzień dobry. Siema. Thank you so much for resubscribing for 3 full months. Thank you. Do appreciate it, Kashim. Those that are curious, Kashim, he's a big person, not just behind the Polish scene, but behind the StarCraft scene. Kashim, he's one of the unsung heroes of StarCraft alongside Cynical Death, one of the OGs, big contributors of Wikipedia. If you are a fan, if you tune in and open up Wikipedia whenever there's a StarCraft tournament, then you have Kashim to thank, because Kashim, he has, again, done so much. He's one of the biggest contributors to Wikipedia. Very passionate person behind the scenes. Thank you, Kashim. Thank you. Much love. Thank you for all the work you do and all the passion you have. As we get into our next game, and spawning in the top right hand corner of Hecate, we have the blue Zerg player representing Team MY Fixed. Oh, he's asking for the G. Oh my god. It is Snogstar. Let's go. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the red Terran player. Oh, reported. We have the red Terran player asking for a GLHF after leading this series here. The spiciness, Papi. It is Angry. And I think he isn't angry, but it looks like he's trying to make his opponent a little bit angry. It looks. Ay. Let's go. As we do have Snogstar going for a Hatch Gas Pool, standard opener out of our Zerg player. Meanwhile, Angry going for a Rax Expand as well. Last game, he went for the Rax on the high ground, but we'll see if we do go for the low ground instead. Oh, sorry. If it said random outside of the scene. Sorry, he's playing Zerg, not random. We'll have to fix that. Likewise, hello, Tommy Gunn. Hello. Este Terran Lord, Kashim and CD, CranKy MVPs. Ah, the MVPs. Thank you. Ah, yeah, Kashim does a lot for StarCraft. As the SCV is going to be scouting across the map. This time we have a CC on the low ground, winding it back. Remember, last game, Angry did go for a CC on the high ground instead. This time, a much more standard opener. He's a little bit less concerned, less afraid, less fearful of his opponent. Sorry, I was just blowing my nose. But yeah, we're going to be getting eyes with the SCV scouts. We're going to be delaying the third base for as long as possible. The drone has arrived. Reaper makes its way towards the triangular third instead. And again, we are in position. A couple of Lings are on the way to try to harass across the map, but the Reaper does come across them. 2 Lings do make it out. 2 Lings do make it out, but 2 more go down, and we're going for the drone, but oh, we do manage to get it down on location just in time. Sockstar, he will get his third. Did cost him a couple of Lings, but it's on the way nonetheless. Back at home, it looks like we will delay that CC. We do get a kill on that SCV, and Sockstar going to be able to delay that expansion for a little bit longer. Behind this economic opener, 3 CC before Starport. Last game, we had a very unusual, very unorthodox, aggressive build out of Angry. This time, economic. This time a very economic build here from our Terran player, so the contrast is real. Going for an add-on swap, going for a Hellion production. There's that Starport on the way. Should be seeing a Tech Lab on this Rax, as well as an add-on swap for a 3cc Banshee opener. But we'll see. We'll see if that's going to be the case. Otherwise, we could get a Tech Lab on the Rax, and we could, instead of going for an add-on swap, go for a Viking and Liberators instead. I really like the idea of a Viking opener because traditionally Viking openers are very prone to transitioning into BCs, and after the last game where we went for a variation of BC opener, going Viking first could really kind of put a wrench in the works and keep Sockstar in the dark. I say keep him in the dark, well, I keep him guessing, keep him paranoid. Meanwhile, add-on swap should be Banshees. Behind this, Angry did in fact get eyes on the Evo chamber, so very crucial scout here. We're rushing into +1 carapace. Roach Warren is on the way. We did continue to mine gas, so this time Sockstar is doing roaches again, but he's going to be prioritizing those carapace upgrades, which can help against Bio. Meanwhile, add-on swap, but Viking first. This could be BC again. Yeah, I was going to say this could be BC again. I mentioned before that a Viking traditionally does, or it can lead into battle cruisers. That's why I would have liked the Viking fake out, but this is the Viking into actual BC, so we're not faking anyone out. It's just straight up BC. Fair enough. There's a little bit more brazen here from Angry, but regardless, I appreciate that we're sticking to our guns. Overlords are in position, but they have not been dealt with yet. Viking is on the hunt. And again, we're getting into that eventual BC. Now, this fusion core is delayed. It is a delayed BC. Ideally, you can start BC production as soon as the Viking finishes, but as we can see here, not quite lined up. As Viking is going to be able to shut down this Overlord. The first at least. Second is still up and running. Again, the Viking has been revealed. Helly as they dive into the mineral line. Bold move here from Angry. Oh, we are going to be losing them, so not too sure if I'm fond of this. Did kill some workers, but still less than ideal. As Sockstar is going for a bit of a counterattack. Getting across the map, we do see Angry in position with his Hellions, and he's going into mech once again. I don't know if he has a reputation for mech, but yeah, mech seems to be his go-to for the time being. This is also why I'm a little bit concerned about the carapace. Carapace, oh, oh my god. Jesus. I haven't really casted Angry too often before, so this is my first time covering him actually, and oh, he's got a personality, let me tell you. We've seen that already here, and I mean, he has a solid lead right now. He's in the driver's seat. What I was going to say is that I'm not in love with carapace against mech. Against bio, it makes plenty of sense. Plenty of sense. If Angry has a reputation for mech, then I'm a little bit less in love with the carapace upgrade here from Sockstar. Behind this, Spire is on the way. It's going to be Roach into potentially Mutas or Corruptors. He hasn't scouted the main yet. BCs are on the way, but again, you can make an assumption of what is going on. Overseer comes in, but oh, the BC is already moving out across the map. Here we go. Now we have confirmation. We do get eyes on the mech transition. We also get eyes on the tech lab on that starport. BC has been revealed, and how many queens? We have 7 queens. A much healthier queen count this time. Clutch transfuse on the Overlord, on the queen as well. And Sockstar is going to have a much stronger defense this time. So here we go. We have Hellions active on the map. BC as well. BC is going to rotate over towards the right-hand side. Hellions going to be rotating over towards the left. We don't have much to protect this mineral line. There are queens, but the Hellions, they can just bypass it. They can just go for it. BC heads towards the 4th. Hellions towards the 3rd. The drones. Oh, they're being cut off. Good positioning here from Angry. Yeah, he roasts up the mineral line. Drones are going to be going down. Now, some of them do escape. Roaches, they're going to be able to keep up as well. As Angry is forced back at the same time, BC wanders into the main base. 7, 8 worker kills already. The Hellion run-by was a little bit lackluster, but regardless, drones are still going down. And this BC can always teleport back home. Does take down the queen, does teleport back. At the same time, the roaches, they have arrived. They get into the mineral line, and what do we have to defend at home? We have a handful of tanks. Hellions, again, no cyclones. I'm not too sure why we are avoiding it as well. Like, they're so good right now, like especially against mutas. Aye. But now we're getting into +1 melee. Mutas as well. Mutas alongside Lings. The Mutas, they are amassing here in between the bases. How many do we have? 16. And honestly, we haven't scouted. We haven't seen the Spire. We are not respecting or responding to the Mutas. Nothing shoots up. No Cyclones, no Thors. The BCs, sure, they can help with some anti-air, but they are not ideal against mass Muta. There's a lot of potential. There's a lot of potential here for Snogstar to snowball out of control. If he can catch some of these BCs, but at the same time, Hellion Run-By is going to get cleaned up as well. Snogstar, he's got a decent economy. Angry does have the better economic situation, true. Tanks are amassing. We do have turrets. Turrets are being set up. That's going to be the big X factor here. If Angry can fight with the support of his missile turrets, then he's going to be okay. Meanwhile, the Mutas, they reveal themselves. They damage over the BC. He's going to get one. Not quite. Does teleport away. Ooh, big Yamato. You dive on top of the turret. The boys are being pulled to repair. And just like that, we keep these BCs alive. Tanks going to be falling here. 3 of them go down. Big pickoffs. Oh, the Yamato. Good avoid, but so many Mutas are falling. The Yamato in conjunction with the BCs with the repair as well. This was the ideal fight for Angry. Now, he did lose a lot of tanks. 5 tanks went down, but he killed 16 Mutas. And you can see the trade here, the amount of gas that Snogstar has lost. That was expensive. Very expensive here for the Zerg player. Meanwhile, Angry thankfully is investing into Cyclones as well as Thors. It's a late transition, but it's there. Mutas are going to be diving in as well. They do threaten that 4th base. They get a couple of SCV kills, 2 in total. As Sockstar is coming back in. We dive on those BCs. This time we have Cyclones and Vikings to support. We do force back the Mutas. And we're still committing, by the way. Still amassing Mutas. We do have +1 range. Okay, Roaches are now in production. We're taking the gold. The economy of Sockstar looking pretty good at this point. It's not looking too bad. As behind this, Angry getting his 4th CC on the way. Ghost Academy. So again, Ghost Tank Thor is like the late game composition that we want. So we're working towards it. It's going to take a while until we can get there. Likewise, we do have Angry just turtling up here on his 4 bases. Sorry, that's the 5th on the way. Likewise, dipping on forward, catches some of these Mutas. The Yamatos. We get the Yamato, and can we teleport? Oh, barely can teleport just in time as well. We're cutting it close here on the BC, but we will get away. Oh my god. Getting as much value as we can out of these battle cruisers before teleporting, getting an extra muta towards the end. And all three will survive, and all three will be repaired. Meanwhile, we're still amassing Thors, tanks, Cyclones as well, making 3 Cyclones at a time. No longer do we have any Hellions. We could refine this army with a couple of Hellions to help support and buffer the ground army. Here we go. The road trap pushing in. Is pushing towards the 4th base here of Angry. The 3rd even. Decent biles on the 1st tank. We still have more tanks behind this. Ravagers trying to break on through as well. Only 1 tank. It does go down. Biles, they take down a BC as well. Very nicely done. But additional tanks have arrived. A couple of SCVs are going to be falling as well. Mass repair on the army. And Angry, he absorbs the attack. He shuts it down. Did cost him a BC, and again, I want to say like 3 or 4 tanks died here as well. You can see Snogstar rotating over towards the right hand side. This also cost Snogstar all of his mutas. The muta count was reset, and I'll be honest, the mutas, they were a little bit lackluster. They didn't really kill any of the BCs themselves. They didn't kill too many SCVs either. They had a hard time trading. A hard time trading here as Angry is looking to break free. Biles up, forcing a bit of friendly fire as well. Tanks are set up. Looks like 1 tank is going to be going down, but the BC's breaking through. Big Yamatos. We have Queens, we have Corruptors, but alas, we have far too much here on the ground. The Ghosts come in to get some snipes in as well. The icing on the cake as Angry has broken the main army, pushing towards the fresh mining base here of Snogstar. The 5th is under threat. We do have a 6th hatchery up and running towards the north. This hatchery towards the south is going to be going down. From here, thankfully, Snogstar had a small bank, so he's able to remax, but you can see that his economy is still not amazing, and he lost too much. It's an expensive army. He lost far too much earlier. Angry taking a supply lead. Snogstar avoiding the army. I do appreciate this. He could try to go for the tanks. Oh, he does. 3 tanks, an expensive army. He gets 1. No shot. Doesn't even get 1. It survives. Does survive. Angry pushing on through, right through the center as well. Hitting up all this creep. We can see Snogstar taking another 6th base. Tanks are sieging. Files will connect. They take down 1. Snipe's going to be going up as well. Do manage to teleport away, and Angry, he is breaking through. He's gaining a lot of ground. Did lose a lot of tanks, but alas, he's got more than just tanks available. Again, he's unlocked the power of the Cyclone. Crazy. Behind this, Angry getting his 5th up and running as well. His economy looking quite stable. Oh, he's his economy actually not looking amazing here. He has a lot of workers. Not all of them are mining. And hopefully we notice soon. Oh, there we go. Aye. Less than ideal. There we go. Additional CCs are on the way. Be pushing on forward. Once again, some of these tanks get caught out. Good pickoffs here from Snogstar. Again, he still does have a chance. Ooh, losing one of those Cyclones to the Biles. BCs are finally going to be going down as well. We get 1. There's 1 BC left. The Biles will connect, will shut them down. Finally, but alas, as he takes down the final BC, the final battle cruiser, the writing is on the wall. GG gets called, and Angry will take the 2-0 win. GG. GG, well played here. Angry will take it in the end. Snogstar struggling quite a bit here against this mech style. Again, just unable to really confirm what was happening, and the BCs time and time again would catch him off guard, would get a lot of value, not just the BCs, but the Hellion run-bys, and yeah, honestly, the mutas this game in Game 2 from Snogstar, were a little bit lackluster. They were quite expensive and wasn't worth it. It was a big loss there for Snogstar, kind of burning all of his resources, investing into those mutas. It didn't pay off in the end, and with that, GG. GG. Congratulations here to Angry as he advances on in the brackets, and we can take a moment to have a look ourselves. Here we go. We have the round of 8 well underway here. We have Papi versus Fnatic in the upper quarterfinals. We have Rodzin versus Aristri in a PvZ. We have Art versus Mishu as well. And we have Cristiano waiting for this series. Let's go. Coming into this, I want to favor Cristiano, but the reality is that as we progress, the top players here, the top players in this tournament are, I was gonna say they're Polish Pro. They're all Polish Pro. They're all Polish, to be fair. But they are Protoss players, and who has the best PvP? I mean, Papi took down Geralt time and time again in weeks past, and was able to have some deeper runs in this tournament thanks to his PvP. So you've got Papi, of course, threatening. Art is a big name. Cristiano as well, of course, and maybe I'm overlooking some of these other players. There are other contenders that can maybe cause some upsets. Again, I'm not familiar with Angry. First time I'm casting him, but hey, maybe he can bring someone like Cristiano down. Possible. Tis possible, as our players are just conducting their vetoes. Oh, actually, it looks like vetoes are done, and we are getting on into this. Let's go. My condolences to Snogstar. My condolences, but regardless, at least, you know, the Zerg flag is still being waved by Aristri. Aristri, he's still out there, still waving it hard. I want to believe. We are leading into our next game. And here we go. The vetoes are done. We're getting into game 1 on Oceanborn. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Oceanborn, we have the red Polish Protoss player representing Team Blazer. It is Cristiano, one of the favorites of this tournament. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Blue Terran from the land of Poland as well. It is Angry. Go. Oh. I didn't see Stormgate earlier. I could understand that, but not too sure what they're saying. Not too sure. If you can understand, give translations. Would appreciate it. Would appreciate it. As Cristiano is going to be going for a probe scout across the map. Again, we have seen quite a lot of Cristiano's PvT recently. We've been casting a lot of Cristiano versus Hon Mono over the past couple of weeks, and Cristiano with mixed success as well. I don't know if Angry is really as aggressive as Hon Mono. We saw a lot of mech against Zerg. Is he one to play mech against Protoss? Not something too unheard of. We have casted players like Dolan, players like Gumiho as well, try to whip out mech and make it work. They have made it work against Protoss in the past. Is Angry one that's willing to do that as well? For now, he's going to be fully walling off. Should lift up that. Oh! Not quite. Probe does escape, and we have a double gas opener. Double gas opener here from Angry. It is going to be a faster factory. It's going to be a delayed CC here from our Terran player. Cristiano has confirmed this. He's aware, he knows. And, oh, it is going to be a factory, but it is going to be across the map. This is looking like a float into the main. Because of how large this is, fun fact, you can actually land the factory here and not be scouted and actually make Widow Mines in the main base of the Protoss opponent. Now, this factory is a little bit further back, so I don't know if he's going to go for the lift or if he's just going to make them here and just waddle on in instead. We have options. We do have options available. Behind this, it's going to be a Twilight Council opener here from Cristiano. It is going to be a Twilight Council instead. And there it is. We're floating in. Yeah, this is on brand with Angry. Here we go. We float the factory into the main base. Armory is on the way, and we are going to be cranking out Widow Mines. This can end the game. We've seen, Special did this recently. We've seen players do this even in seasons past. This is not unheard of. White Idra used to be very fond of this back in like 2019. And there's no detection. There's no Robo. There's no Stargate. This can straight up be GG if it goes unscattered any longer.
Have met the enemy.
Not like this, Fafi. Not like this. As yeah, this is looking a little bit bleak. The reason why this is going to be, it could just end the game is because Mine Shot's going to be going off, and again, there's no answer to them. There's no way to stop them. Robo just now starts, and we will be stopping any kind. No! Massive connection. 11 probes go down. Another Widow Mine going to be waddling on in as well. It looks like Stalker's going to try and slow it down, and it will not make it to the mineral line. Oh, does get picked off. Ooh, okay. Not the best start here for Cristiano. Another mine is going to be going off as well, but we denied that Widow Mine from getting to the natural base. If a Widow Mine got into every single mineral line, then it would be over, but we still have an economy as another probe is going to go down. Oh, ooh, we don't control the shot though, and it goes into the gas geyser. Can we recover? Can Cristiano recover from this? And it looks like another Widow Mine shot is going to go up. The Robo is done. Observer's on the way. This could have been so much worse, but Cristiano is making the best of it. Reapers, they do get into the main base though. Sorry, into the natural. Another mine shot's going to be going off, and again, hopefully not into the gas geyser. Where are we going? Oof. Once again, only one. If we were retargeting here into the base itself, we can get up to 3. But every Widow Mine goes down. And Cristiano, he is still in this. He did lose a lot of probes. He lost 14 probes, which is not insignificant. But he's dealt with the harassment, and Angry is backing off. He's transitioning into a Bio transition. We have 3 Raxes, 1 Starport on the way as well. It's going to be a 3-1-1 setup. Another Reaper is shut down. Cristiano, he has some catching up to do, but I want to believe he can, as the factory has returned. Oh god, he's doing it again, but this time we check, we scout, and the Adept does have eyes on that factory. Cristiano is moving out across the map here with Blink, with his Prism as well. And Angry, what do we have back at home to defend? Uh-oh, we can go straight into the main. We can ignore the bunker, go into the main base. No tanks, no Widow Mines, no stim, no nothing. Angry is in some trouble here. He is in some trouble. At the same time, looks like a couple more probes went down here. Widow Mine shot goes off. Oh my god, Angry once again enjoying himself here, but at the same time, no stim. We're going to be bleeding out a lot of Marines. Cristiano, yeah, shutting down some of those units here. Takes down some SCVs as well. He goes for the stim. And again, no medevacs, so every stim does hurt. Every stim is it's hurting Angry. Meanwhile, that factory is still in the main base. Widow Mine was dealt with. And we can go for the kill move. We can blink into the main and force field the ramp. Uh-oh. he's thinking about it, Bobby. He's thinking about it. Gonna rotating over into the main base. Where's that force field? Oh, we do get it. We get the force field. We take control of the main base. We should be able to pick up. Yeah, we can pick up and, of course, get into the main as well. We do snipe one of the medevacs. Big pick off. A massive pick off there from Cristiano, but boys are being pulled. A lot of Stalkers are going down. You managed to barely get away. Good force field here. Just zoning away some of those workers, and it looks like we may just have too much. Cristiano, he shuts down the main, shuts down the production. SCVs are falling. Even though Angry had a really good start, the execution was lacking. And as a result, Cristiano, he is going to be able to snowball out of control. We're down to 23 SCVs. Across the map, there's no additional... Now he's signing up another Widow Mine. Do we have cannons back at home? Not quite. But Cristiano, he's content with the damage he's dealt. Again, he's pretty far ahead. It's another couple of SCVs. It's the hell out of there. Another Widow Mine is on the way. Cristiano, he does back off. Widow Mine is going to be waddling on in. He is going to waddle in, but so far, good reaction here from Cristiano. Good dodge. Oh my god. Good dodge as well. Avoiding that Widow Mine shot. At the same time, Cristiano getting into the main base. He's not concerned at all here with this Widow Mine. Recalls an observer back home. Cristiano, he's having his way with Angry. Another Widow Mine. Another Widow Mine goes off, but it doesn't quite get enough done. And Angry, he's kind of gambling quite a lot here on this double drop. He's going for a double drop across the map full of Marines and Marauders. We did just recall, so there's no recall available here for Cristiano. There's potential, but we have Immortals back at home, Stalkers, Shield Batteries, Overcharge. Drop does come back in. And again, there is no recall available. The Stalkers, they are racing back home. And these Stalkers could try to intercept those medevacs. Oh, as we try to focus them down, we almost get one. Medevacs trying to get the hell out of there. Will they be intercepted? Oh god. They're looking vulnerable. Third base is up and running. The army is amassing. It looks like the drop does come across the army. Oof. Oh god, god. A full medevac goes down. We have a handful of units remaining here out on the map. GG gets called. We don't get a final fight. And Cristiano will take game number 1. GG. Again, it was a shaky start. A shaky start for Cristiano, losing a lot of probes. But, again, that it could have been a lot worse. It could have been game. The execution was a little bit lacking there for Angry. And Cristiano was able to recover, able to counterattack. And despite the best efforts of the Terran player, Cristiano was able to overcome. GG. GG does take game 1. But we have plenty more ahead of us. Again, it's still best of 3. There is an opportunity for more games. And we'll see where this takes us. Meanwhile, it looks like the rest of the bracket is currently ongoing. I believe some of the matches are being held, but others are being played out, if I'm not mistaken. So we will be able to catch a couple more of these games in at the round of 8. Yeah, I believe we're holding some of these matches. It looks like potentially... Papi and Fnatic already mid-series. Maybe. Well, we'll see. But I believe Arch versus Mishu is being held. And I think Rodzin versus Aristri is being held as well. I think. Here we go. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Hecate, we have the Polish Protoss player leading the series 1-0, 1 game away from advancing on here into the semifinals. Representing Team Blazer, it is Cristiano. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the blue Terran player, one of the few Terrans left in the tournament. It is Angry. Again, I'm getting a very quick idea of the kind of player that Angry is. Like, first time covering him, and yeah, we are going to be sending out our SCV across the map. This is looking poised for an eBay block, which is a good way to kind of gain an advantage early on and gain some momentum. Going for a single gas opener. So the point here, we've seen this actually, we're rallied into the main. Wait, what? Okay, there we go. So this should be an eBay block here on the low ground. Even though it's a single gas geyser, there should be a Rex into a factory just to take advantage of this. And there we go, the eBay is thrown down. And the goal here is to get damage done early on and to try to overwhelm our opponent with Hellions with Cyclones. The reason why I say that it should be a factory after this is because the eBay has finished. We forced the unnatural natural. Cristiano, he's now in a really compromised position here in between the bases. And he's going to have a hard time defending both his natural base and his main just because they're so far apart. As a result, Angry should be going for the factory here, but we'll see if he does commit or if he goes for the CC on the low ground. Both options are available here. Ooh, going for the CC. Okay, it is going to be command center on the high ground. He does confirm the location of the base, but it took him a little bit to actually confirm that. It almost looked like he was waiting to see before he did commit to any kind of tech. So never mind, Angry, he won't be able to punish this anywhere near as hard. Interesting.
Add-on operational.
Oh, that's Abathur. Behind this, we do have a Twilight Council opener. Interesting. So usually when a Protoss player is forced to expand in such a way, they go for Stargate openers because Phoenixes can have a lot of maneuverability, dipping between the bases and, you know, traversing the terrain because they avoid a lot of the low ground terrain here. So it can be a little bit easier to protect your bases. But yeah, Cristiano, he's throwing caution to the wind, going for a Twilight Council. Bold move. Bold move from the Protoss. SCV does get picked up. eBay is still up and running and still being a bit of a nuisance as Angry is getting ready to take his natural. He is getting ready for it. Adept shades in, does get eyes on the reactor factory. Did we see the starport though? We did. We barely did see the starport building, so we are a little bit more aware of what comes next. A little bit more aware of the 111. Angry moving out with a handful of Marines here. There is potential to maybe slip into the mineral line. But the shield battery is done. Stalkers are getting in position. Blink still on the way. Still can't quite take advantage of that. As 5 Marines, they do head into that mineral line, and they're going to try and focus on some of these probes. Up! And they won't be able to get any so far. Again, the shield battery putting in a lot of work. 1 probe goes down. We have the overcharge. And not a single other probe will fall. Oh, that's going to be 5 Marines for 1 probe. Not like this. As we do clean that up. Again, a solid cleanup here from Cristiano. At the same time, Hellions are moving out. Behind this, we're going for a very committed Widowmine drop. It isn't just Widowmines, it isn't just medevacs, it is also an armory. So for a second time here, detection is going to be required, but we already have a robo, we already have an observer on the way. It is rallied across the map, as it should be, so we are going to have to recall it back home, or make sure we have a second observer to defend. Cristiano not fully aware of what's coming his way. My job is going to be coming in. Armory is done. Detection is required. Uh-oh. It is going to be required here to defend. And we're going for a prism, not an observer. As a second robo unit. We catch the Hellion, which is nice. But here comes the drop. Drop goes into the main base. Has been spotted. And Cristiano, he does pull back in time. Widowmines are getting in position. We do shut down the medevac. Ooh, and the Widowmine as well. But 2 Widowmines have borrowed. Good dodge. And now we realize, yeah, there's the recall. Bringing the observer back home. We shut down 1, but there is another. Cristiano, does he notice? He does. Takes down all the Widowmines. Doesn't lose anything here. A solid cleanup. And we have the War Prism to counterattack. We are counter. So it looks like 1 Widowmine shot did go off, but we don't care. Not anymore. What do we have at home to defend? We have a tank on the low ground, a tank on the high ground. Bunker is done, but very little to support. Bunker did finish up in the high ground as well. We do delay the CC just barely. Oh my god. Stalkers have arrived. Bunkers are falling again. Angry just has so little supply to work with. He's being pulled apart. Ooh, an adventurous warp in into the main base. Not too sure how I feel about it. Prism may go down. But we get the Viking. We get the tank as well. And Cristiano, he's snowballing out of control. Again, a very aggressive warp in here into the main base, but it's paying off. Yeah, we blink on forward. We get down the tank. GG gets called. We snowball out of control. And Cristiano takes the series 2-0. GG. Again, a solid defense and a very fast counterattack, punishing how committed Angry was with that initial aggression, with that initial commitment into those winter mines. And Cristiano, he snowballed out of control. GG. Well played. A solid series there from Cristiano. My condolences to Angry. You know, he had his time in the sun against Snogstar. But alas, did meet his end. And now we are already getting ready for our next series. I was not ready. Oh my god. I wasn't expecting such a fast series here, but with that, Cristiano, he advances on to the semifinals. And up next, we have another quarterfinals match. It is going to be Art versus Mishu. Here we go in another TVP. Now, Mishu as a player, I'm unfamiliar with him. We have casted him before, to be fair, but I think he's teamless. I want to say he's teamless. He's on a clan, but Wikipedia says he's not quite on a team. But we'll see. Again, a lot of these Protoss players are going to be the heavy favorites coming into this tournament. Can anyone stop them? Can anyone slow them down? We're here to find out. As spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the pink Polish Protoss player finally picking the correct color. Aha, let's go. Representing the Platinum Heroes, it is Art. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Polish Terran player representing Clan Jarek. It is Mishu. Here we go. The TVPs are continuing here. As a reminder, the winner of this series advances on to face off against Cristiano in the next round. We go. Moment. I know what it is, but I've been so, like, stuffy today. I mean, I say so stuffy today. So stuffy ever since Kung Fu Cup. Like, I'm cold, man. Cold. Aye, aye, aye. Here we go. Get that como estás complete in the chats. Been a while. Been a while. Bienvenidos. Good morning. As Art is going to be going for an economic opener, going for a Gate Cyber Expand here. Very safe standard opener out of our Protoss player. Meanwhile, Mishu going for a Rax Expand, going for an economic opener himself. Important to point out, you know, double gas openers are not unheard of. We even saw that in Game 1 from Angry, but here, Mishu just opening up standard, looking to get into the swing of things. And we'll see if he can keep up with Art. Again, coming into this, Art, Cristiano, Rodzin, Papi, they're looking to make a top 4 Protoss run. But what does Mishu have to slip him up, to trip him up, to stop the Protoss? Can we stop the PvPs? Can we stop them? Ah, I'm here for it. I was gonna complain about no ping, but then I realized my Discord app was not up. Oh, smooch. Este complete. Ay, ay, ay. That's why you have to follow us everywhere, not just Discord. Ay, ay, ay. For now, though, it is going to be a Stargate follow-up here. So we have our tech of choice. Last game, Cristiano was very, very adamant about going into Blink Stalkers. Art, we can see a very different kind of player, is going to be embracing the Oracles or the Phoenixes. The Sky Tusk. the Stargate opener. There it is. It's going to be an Oracle first. We could commit and go into a second Oracle, or we can start Phoenix production after this. We can go one or the other. If we commit to Oracles, then this should be leading into a Twilight Council follow-up into something like Blinkstalkers. But now, though, Archie's more concerned with getting economic damage done. Meanwhile, Mishu across the map going for a 1-1-1, going for a Rax into Factory, into Starport here on 2 bases, and is going for a Widowmine drop. Now, this is significantly less committed compared to what Angry was doing. Angry, he was all about, you know, like the armory and the detection. No, we don't need none of that here. It's just a straight-up Widowmine drop. This is designed to scout. Ideally, you know, in an ideal world, maybe we can kill some workers, maybe we can kill some probes, but that is not the primary purpose here. The purpose is to figure out what the Protoss is up to while we get up towards a later game. Again, that's why it's only 2 Widowmines. From here, we should be getting into tank production, and there we go. Tanks are now on the way, so we can defend against something like Blinkstalkers. Meanwhile, Oracles are moving out to them. Phoenix production has commenced. Now, we have significantly less Phoenixes to defend because we started and prioritized Oracles instead. So this could get damage done. Meanwhile, Oracles are getting in. Marines are in position. And Marines are lying in wait. So far, good positioning out of Mishu, but the Natural's exposed. And we do get in. Workers are going to be going down. At the same time, the Mine Drop tries to come in. We got 4 SCVs across the map. At the same time, we have the Widow Mine Drop that is zoned away by the Phoenixes. The Phoenix! Up! Phoenix is going to go down. At the same time, though, we got 7 SCVs and both Oracles survive. We recall back home. The Reaper doing what it can. He's getting damage done, you know. Almost gets rid of the shields on the Cybercore. Aye. But regardless, Mishu was cleaned up. He was cleaned up. What's important, though, is that, again, he's fully aware of the Stargate opener. He's fully aware of the Phoenixes that are in production as well. He was able to kill 1 at least. But economically, he's behind. Looking at the Unisource tab, it was 7 SCVs, 2 Widow Mines, 1 Medevac for only a single Phoenix. Not a worthwhile trade so far here by Mishu. He is hurting. And Art isn't done. Art still has both Oracles alive. We have Phoenixes as well moving out. At the same time, taking a 3rd base behind this. Throwing down a scouting pylon. And we are looking to threaten that main base. We do have a Cyclone in position alongside a handful of Marines. We can defend. Was a Reaper. The same Reaper gets it. We get a probe. Oh, we can get 2. We get 2 workers at the same time. We're going to try to get in. 2 workers do go down. The Reaper gets the hell out of there. At the same time, we dive into the main. But the turret finishes up just in time. We head towards that natural, but there are turrets everywhere. Uh-oh. We do end up going for the Cyclone in the end, and we're getting some damage done here, but the Oracles, they're so low. The Oracle. Oh my god. 6 HP. The Oracle does survive. We happen to come across a Medevac as well. Oh my god. The Oracles, they get the hell out of there. Medevac goes down. Ay. These Oracles should not be alive. They shouldn't be here, but somehow they make it out. And Art, he picks up a Medevac, shuts down the drop. Mishu is going to be committing. He's going to be pushing right through the center. Behind this, Colossus production well underway. We have Extento Lance. The Stasis Trap goes off, catching some of these units. And we now have a 2nd Colossus, soon to be a 3rd. Art is more than set up for this. He went Phoenix Colossus, delayed Forge, delayed Twilight Council, delayed Blink and Charge as a result, but his main army is still terrifying. I mean, who needs Blink? Who needs Charge when you have big lasers? When you have Colossus, man. With that, Mishu is going to be backing off. He sees, he respects the Colossus. Does respect it, will retreat here, turns back around, and he's getting into double Starport production. All the Vikings. Committing here to Mass Viking, Bio as well. Where's the 3rd CC? Okay, there we go. I was like, I feel like we should have seen it. 3rd CC is finishing up, but as we get ready for the 3rd, Art is taking a 4th. No. So Art is looking for a way in once again. Army is going to be able to stim on forward. We take down a Phoenix. Oh my god. Can't believe a Phoenix went down before this Oracle. Looks like the previous Oracle also fell. There are a couple of Widow Mines spread out around the map as well. Mishu just in position, making sure that he's able to keep up with any kind of Phoenix play. Taking his third. He does scan. He sees the army composition, already 3 Colossi. We should be getting into Disruptor production after this Prism, or Immortals, one or the other. They both work. Charge on the way, +1. Fourth base, getting up and running as well. Oh my, the Vikings! Vikings do take down some of those units. Good pickups. The army supplies are comparable, I will say that. I would say that the quality of army is still in favor of art. There is a world, okay, because we have so many Vikings. If we can engage with the Colossi first with the Vikings, we can maybe pick 1 or 2 off before the main fight begins. There's also a world where if Art is juggling his Colossus, so we can like snipe the Prism, we can maybe get 2 for 1. Regardless, we're diving in. There we go. Vikings, they push forward. They want that Colossus. Oh, get a good amount of damage done. Colossi does pull back. And again, Art wants to commit. Oh my god, the force fields. We slice up the army. Good force fields here from Art. Looks like some of the Colossi are going to be going down. The juggling. We save the Colossi, and the ground army just snowballs out of control. We shut down the Marines, the Marauders, the Ghosts as well. The Colossi don't even matter. It looks like one of them did go down. The Prism as well. The Vikings, they did their job, but what about the ground army? As Arch is going for a massive counterattack. He has a massive supply lead as well. And Mishu forced to turn back around. Zealots from one end, Stalkers from the other. Are taking a 5th base while he attacks. Doesn't even need a 5th. This is a bit of an awkward angle for Arch. He does lose an Archon already. But the Colossi have arrived. The Vikings land. Gonna have to lift back up here to deal with the Colossi, but again, we have plenty of anti-air. We shut down the Vikings one after the other. Good EMP on the Stalkers. But every Viking falls. And GG, well played against Cold Art. Snowballing out of control. We'll take game number 1. Whew. GG. Again, Art having a much stronger start in the end, shutting down the Widowmine drop, if you remember, getting quite a lot done with his Oracles and Phoenixes. It all came down to that fight, though. A fight that Mishu was just maybe a little bit over-eager. A really big moment there were the Force Fields. The Force Fields did cut up the army in half, the ground army at least, and it did come down to the ground army as well. Without it, Art's just got out of control, out of hand. GG. GG. Art takes game 1, but now we're getting ready for game number 2. Número 2. Oh. Reaper thinking about how he ain't paid enough for this shit. The poor Reaper. He was slaving away trying to kill that Cybercore. Not like this. But we're getting into game 2 here. Between our 2 lovely players. And do we have any other update? Oh my god, we do get in. We do have some updates. Papi did take down Fnatic 2-0. And Papi is waiting in the upper semifinals. But we still have Rodzin versus Aristary to get into after this. As a reminder, the winner of this series advances on to face off against Cristiano. And Rodzin versus Aristary is being held for us to jump into after this series. Tis being held. And this morning, in the top right-hand corner of Alkione, we have our pink Polish Protoss player representing the Platinum Heroes, leading the series 1-0. It is Art. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Protoss. The blue Polish Terran player. Looking to fight back. It is Mishu. My brain is already thinking about the PvPs. that's ahead of us. It's already thinking about it. It's too late. It's the brain is already on the PvPs. Not like this. Mishu, you can stop it. You have the power. I believe. I do want to believe as Art is on a bit of a mission here. He's going to be skirting around the edge of the map. And with this hidden probe, we have potential for potentially... Okay, never mind. We're just going in. Skirting the edge of the map. I was going to say that we could even try to go for a proxy pylon here into like proxy Stargate play, which we have seen rise in popularity. But no, we just come in for the scouts. Just go right into the main base to confirm what's been going on. That sneeze. And as we get into our gate, Cybercore into expansion. No eBay block. No eBay here from Mishu. As a second SCV is forced off the mineral line. And we will eventually get our base up and running. Art being as annoying as possible here. Just tasing away at that SCV. But it's going to get the hell out of there. It's going to make it out in the end. And race back home. Interesting. Okay, there we go. As Reaper is on the hunt. The goal here is to catch up, meet up, and shut down that probe. As we had control of the Zonaga, did get eyes on it. And the probe got it's getting out of here. Can it escape? Reaper looking to chase him down. Adept is on the way, and it looks like the probe will make it back home. We live, we survive, and we go for a Twilight Council opener. Okay. Is going to be a Twilight Council. The Reaper is a little bit stuck here. He's only going to take one hit to the face, though, and will escape. Good. Second Adept has arrived. Behind this, we're getting into our 1-1-1. Factory is in production. I assume it's going to be a starport thereafter, but we'll see if we go for a Rax instead. As the Reaper does slip in, and Mishu gets a full scout, does get eyes on the tech on the Twilight Council, so he knows it should be Blink. It should be. Ooh, as we trade 1 for 1, we take down one of those probes. And the Reaper is going to try to escape, but we should be able to get another hit in. Another 2 even. Across the map, we get a full wall off, and Art is in the dark. Does not get into the main base. Again, it is going to be a 1-1-1. Is going to lead into a Widowmine drop. Very similar to the previous game, actually. Very similar here from Mishu. Behind this, ooh, we're doubling down. It is going to be a Blink Stalker based opener, but how committed? Well, there's going to be 1 gateway here at the natural and 3 gateways in the main. That's 4 gates in total, so 4 gate Blink. 4 gate Blink here from Art. Very aggressive, very committed. And Mishu, we need to start up tank production. We need the tanks as soon as possible. Otherwise, we're going to be in some trouble. Tech Lab is on the way to commence tank production. It isn't just about the tanks. We need bunkers as well. We already have 1 bunker here on the low ground. We will need a bunker on the high ground as well. Because Art is going to hit like a truck. Sorry, I'm just sneezing. But here we go. We're pushing out. Mishu, he is aware of... Nah, he didn't get to see the gateways. He's unaware of how many gateways there are, how committed this is. Wouldn't mind drop going into the main. Meanwhile, the push is coming. And what do we have at home to defend? We have 1 tank just now finishing up. Only 1 tank. Drop does get into the main base, and 1 Widowmine goes down. The other up. Will kill 1 probe in the main base. Widowmine barely does escape, but now Art can focus on his push. And again, we have our first tank covering the natural, but the main base is exposed. Oh boy, and we're going right for the main as well. Mishu not in position, not ready for this. We dive into the main, we go straight for the add-ons as well. Tech Lab is gonna go down. We delay stim for so long. No stim on the Raxes. Boys are being pulled, tank are repositioning as well, and we will force Art out of the main. But we're not done. We're not stopping. 1 Stalker does fall. Not bad. 2nd, 3rd Stalker. Bit of miscontrol there by Art. little bit of miscontrol. Or was it? Looks like the drop across the map did get focused down. We get the bunker. Oh, the Raven taking a lot of hits. Second tank has arrived, but these tanks are looking a little bit exposed. Where's the siege? We pull back and there we go. One of them will siege, thankfully. But again, both tanks are in the natural. And now we can just bounce back and forth between the natural and the main base. We dive in, we catch another tank. Oh, and can we get it? It's going to be close. We will get it in the end, just barely. Boys are being pulled. We shut down another add-on and another as well. The factory, it's going to go down. No shot. Without the factory, no more tanks available here for Mishu. We have 2 left. And no stim either, and this is snowballing out of control. This is becoming far too much damage here. It's going to be so difficult to deal with. We dive on top of the tanks. A very adventurous blink here, but we should be able to get both of them. And very nice control. Now that we did trade a lot of stalkers there. It wasn't a free trade for art. I will say that. But the reality is, without stim, we can kite for days. Like, these stalkers should not die anymore. We should be able to just kite our hearts out. No bunkers, no tanks, no widow mines, no medevacs. First medevac is in production. Third C. Oh, he's crazy. Oh my. Third CC is on the way. Let's go. Can we recover? Again, all we need is good blink control, and we should just mow through this army. Boys are being pulled so far. Again, good juggling. Yeah, now like, it's a little mini game here where he just has to focus on preserving his stalkers. Up. One almost goes down. Yeah, as long as he's able to maintain his control here, another stalker almost does fall as well. But GG gets called. Well played. Again, the writing was on the wall, and Art will take the series 2-0, advancing on to the semifinals. GG. GG, well played again. Unfortunately, Mishu was not aware of how committed the Blink Stalkers were, and he just wasn't able to prepare in time. Only had 1 tank, didn't quite have much at home to defend in his main, and Art, he abused that. He just went straight for the main, came to the production, picked off the add-ons, and it was an uphill battle. Uphill battle from that point. Just was not ready for it. GG. GG, well played. With that, we have our first semifinals ready for us. It is going to be Art versus Cristiano. But before we can sink our teeth into that series, we have another. We have another. We still have one shot, one opportunity here to deny the PvP semis. A series was held for us. We're getting into Rodzin versus Aristary, a ZVP, the final non-Protoss. Can he survive? Can he make it? Let's go. Let us go. The last non-Protoss player in the tournament. This is our final quarterfinals match. After this, semis. Winner of this series goes up against Papi in the upper semifinals. Let's go. Let us go. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Golden Aura, we have the last non-Protoss hope. The red Polish Zerg player representing Twisted Minds. It is Aristary. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the purple Polish Protoss player representing the Platinum Heroes. It is Rodzin. Now, it was foretold. When I saw this tournament, when I saw this bracket, I'm like, PvP semis. 100%. PvP all around. No, there's no shot that it's going to be stopped. It's going to be denied. So far, that is the case. Can Aristary do it? Can we pull this off? Can we somehow bring down Rodzin and stop the non-stop PvPs? Is it possible? We'll see. We'll see, Papi. We'll see. Again, there is 3. He needs your energy and your support. Otherwise, Rodzin needs your energy and your support if you want the non-stop PvPs. Which, to be fair, it is going to be a lot of fun. You know, I do love me some PvPs. Don't get me wrong. Part of me would like diversity, but the other part of me is like, no, bring the nonsense. Let's go. Let us go. So far, it is going to be a Hatch Gas Pool, standard opener from Aristry. Likewise, Rodzin going for a Gate Expand into the Cybercore. Everything is looking normal for the time being. Now, I don't really get to cast Aristry as much as I would like. We usually cover Trifax during these events, or maybe a Laser as well. Aristry has been putting in a lot of work, though, when it comes to not just being a player, but also contributing to the scene. Aristry, I think he hosts some show match, sometimes some tournaments as well. He does stream over on his own channel, so much love here to Aristry. Because of that, part of me, like, whenever I think of Aristry, I think of like a content creator, just because he does that so much and he hosts his own events. But maybe I shouldn't really like have that thought. Like, Aristry, he's still, you know, he's on a pro team, he's on Twisted Minds, and he's still a good player in his own right. So I want to believe that he can fight back, that he can make a series out of this. We've been seeing a lot of 2-0s. Can we get a 2-1? Or even, you know, just a straight up win here for Zerg. We'll see. Third base is on the way. Behind this, we're soon getting our first unit of choice. Our tech is going to be a Stargate opener. From here, we can go Oracle or Void Ray or even Phoenix. They all have their place in this. And again, I don't get to cast as much Rodzin PvZ as I would like, so we'll see what he's fond of. Oracle first would be for a more economic opener. Based on the rally, it looks like maybe a... Okay, never mind. I was going to say a Void Ray to shut down the Overlord, but now it's rallied across the map. Oracle. Oracle opener out of Rodzin. This is going to be leading into a third base, into a second Oracle, into a third Oracle, into Twilight Council and Forge. Everything is looking by the book. There it is. Third base is soon to be taken by our Protoss player. Catching up with the chat. Reap. Oracle is going to be moving out. What ELO is this? Around like 6k. These are all GMs, papi. All around 6k. I don't know if that means anything. I don't know if 6k means anything to you, but there you go. As Oracles are moving out, we have our first, soon to be second Oracle in the field, making our way towards the mineral lines. Behind this, it is going to be a Forge and a Twilight Council, as I mentioned before. This should be for Blink and +1. Should be for a standard transition here from Rodzin. As the Oracles head into that third base, the Queens are in position so far. Aristry not losing anything. Nicely done. Good positioning here from our players. But now we're up to 3 Oracles here. A lot of firepower, a lot of DPS is available. We can even if we come across a couple of Queens, we can focus them down as well. So Aristry has to take it seriously. Spore is finishing up in the main. 2 Queens in position. Spore at the natural. Spore at the third as well. So not cutting any corners. And Rodzin doesn't find any drones. So far, so good. And Aristry is going to be able to establish his 4th base without too much issue. Again, his economy has been left untouched for the time being. What I should emphasize, though, is that even though Rodzin hasn't killed anything yet, he also hasn't lost anything. His Oracles, they're full of HP. They've only taken shield damage. Full of NG as well. They can still gain value. They could even try and deny the hatchery. They're going for it. They're going for the 4th base, and we should be forcing a cancel here. The Queen's going to try to rotate over. They're going to try to keep this alive, but alas, it shouldn't be enough, and the 4th should go down. We force the cancel. Nice pick off here. Good pick off from Rodzin, making up for the lack of drones that he hasn't been able to kill. Behind this, Rodzin getting up to a 3-base economy. Again, there's Blink and +1 on the production tab. No gateways, or like very few gateways to work with here. We're getting up to 5 gates, which means it's looking like a tech-heavy composition. There we go. 4th is on the way. We are going into Swarm Hosts. Aristory. I did notice that the infestation bit, and I assumed that we were going to be taking up into Hive Tech, but no, we're going Swarm Host instead. Very bold move, very old school as well. I'm ready for it. So, Swarm Host based builds are a thing in this matchup, and we have seen them from players like Dark and players like Dark and players like Dark. But usually it's reserved, and I haven't seen them do it this season. It was a lot more prevalent last season, specifically against charge openers, charge or arc openers. So if the Protoss player were to go for charge ults, then this could work very well. Against Blink Stalkers, a little bit less so. Speaking of, Blink is done. We do avoid those Locust Waves. And more Swarmers are on the way. They have been revealed. They have been spotted by Rodzin. Now, the reason why I say that this is typically done against Charge or Archon-based compositions is because Archons and Charge ults are very immobile. I mean, sure, Charge is a thing, but like, it's still very immobile compared to Blink Stalkers. So you can abuse that army. You can pick off bases, get into mineral lines, and have a lot of map control. Against Blink Stalkers, less so. If these Swarm Hosts are ever caught out, then we can just dive. We can just dive on top of them, focus them down as well. So a very delicate dance here for Aristory. He has a lot invested into these Swarm Hosts. He has to keep them alive. So far, he hasn't really been able to trade too efficiently. He hasn't gained too much value yet, but now we're pushing. Now we are moving on now to Aristory. He's got 13 Swarm Hosts. Stalker's a bit of a move command. Oh my, massive move command here. We do get on top of 1, 2 of those, oh my, 3 of those even. 3 Swarm Hosts go down. Decent pickoffs, but we took a lot of damage. I don't think that was quite worth it. As the wave of Locusts are on the way, Sage Traps being thrown down. And these Sage Traps, they could go up. And they catch some of the Locusts. But again, we're just forcing back that Stalker army. We're getting into the fourth base as well. Zoning them away from the mineral line, and probes are falling. 6 workers going down. It's going to be a one-way trip. We're going to clean up every single one of these roaches. Overcharges popped. We have a massive open of Zealots, and was this worth it in the end? We get 12 worker kills, but we lose everything. Every single roach, every single Ravager goes down. The Swarm Host did survive, but we did lose 3 of them. There are how many? 10 Swarm Hosts left. We've got 6 more on the way. And we're getting ready for Wave 2. This time, though, we're up against Charge Lots and Stalkers, and we do catch the army! Oh god! Oh, Locust Wave does go off. And Rodzin, he has to be careful. As Aristory is going to be rotating over towards the left-hand side. It looks like these roaches are getting caught out. Locust Wave unable to achieve much of anything. It was wasted, and now this army is looking very vulnerable. Yeah, we snipe another Locust Wave, or sorry, another Swarm Host. Oracle's being forced back. Oh, the roaches are trading. I'm pretty sure we want to wait for Locust Waves before we attack with roaches, as a Zealot counterattack going to deny the 5th. Cancel. Oh, that's going to be a kill, not a cancel. Uh-oh. Blink Stalkers, they dive in once again. They force out more Locusts. Ravage is getting picked up as well. These are expensive losses. But again, desperately, we want to try to take down the base or the mineral line. The Locusts, they were on A move. Queens are going down. The Oracle's going ham here on these Swarm Hosts as well. The Miles. Oh my god. Very nicely done. Very nice Miles there from Aristory. But again, we're just trading too poorly here. So many Ravagers getting picked off. I mean, in saying that, we do have a good economy. We have an okay economy, and maybe we're trading well enough. Can we snowball out of control? Can we break this base? Do we have a storm? We do. Oh my god. Big storm on these roaches. We're trying to focus down as many of these High Templar as we can, but another storm does zone back the army. Oh my god. The storms. Rodzin, he should be able to hold on here. And Rodzin, he has a better economy compared to his opponent. The one thing going Aristory's way, just be very careful. Aristory, he's up in supply, but the soup does lie, especially with this composition. Because the roaches are inflated supply, and whenever these Swarm Hosts are on cooldown, or off cooldown, they are dead supply as well. So, numbers may look good for Aristory, but it is very deceiving. Again, whenever these Swarm hosts don't have a Locust Wave available, like, things can swing very heavily in favor of the Protoss. But here we go, Aristry. Now he's going to be rotating over towards the right-hand side. He's going for the 4th base. There we go. Big Locust Wave, and this should kill the Nexus. This is finally the moment that we've been waiting for. Yeah, Locust Wave comes in, and the Nexus is going to go down. The DPS is just too damn high. And Aristry now is in the driver's seat. Up until this point, he wasn't really able to touch too much of the economy, but now he has. Oh. As we trade a base for a base, the Zealot Rumbai comes in, gets a kill on the 4th. It's going to be 3 base versus 3 base. Ay, ay, ay. This is still very scrappy. Rodzin, sorry, Aristry has maxed out. This is true. We don't have too many Stalkers. Locust Wave is coming in. We're gonna have to back up. Gonna have to respect it. We'll have to retreat. A decent storm in the army. But many storms are forced out. We have so many High Templar behind this. But here comes another Locust Wave. That's just how many Swarm hosts we have. How many? 18 Swarm hosts in total. Jesus. In the blink of an eye, 8 probes go down. Forcing a storm as well. At the same time, we do hit that 4th base. Containing roads into 3 bases. That is the win condition here for Aristry. And again, another Locust Wave is available. And now, next this base is going to go down. Aristry, he just has too much momentum on his side. Locust Wave comes in, and we do get on top of the Nexus again. And that is going to be the kill move. Rodzin knocked down to 2 bases. 2 bases left. The Vials, they connect. And Aristry, he has pulled this off. And now he can go for the army. Now he can collapse here for a surround. Vials, they take down an Archon. And they're going for the High Templar. Oh no. Get out of here. 1 High Templar goes down. Almost an Immortal as well. This is too late. I'm fond of this, going into Void Rays. You can see Rodzin's trying to produce an army. He's supply blocked. I'm fond of the Void Rays. I do think it's too little too late at this point. We needed this far sooner here. Committing into a more Skytoss heavy composition. We only have 3 Oracles. Even committing into Mass Oracle would have helped as well. Or just supplementing the army with Oracles even. Like these, you can see how much damage they're getting done. They're doing well for themselves. But it's too late. We're down to 2 bases, down to 1 base economy essentially. And Aristry, he's getting out of control. He's getting everything back up and running. Remaxing already. Swarm is coming in from the right-hand side. We have Flux Veins in production. Fleet Beacon. Making 2 Void Rays at a time. It does feel like Rodzin, this is an answer that he's finally arrived at, but just a little bit too late. Where he's like, oh, you know what, this works. But just took a little bit too long to get here. And to arrive to this as 12 more workers go down, 13 even. You can see Aristry getting ready for a push here on the right-hand side. There is a lot of storms available. If only this was like a Hydra-based composition as we catch an Immortal. Ooh. Vials, they connect, they take down an Observer. Meanwhile, at the same time, another Roach counterattack Locust Wave is coming in. We're threading the High Templar. We get 1 full energy as well. The Immortals, another High Templar. And Rodzin is just being pulled apart at this point. It's just too much. Another High Templar gets focused. We're getting into carrier production. Again, it's just... If only this was happening when we were on 4 bases. As we dive on top of this, Hydras have arrived as well. So many Stalkers going down. Every High Templar as well. How many High Templar have died? 9 already. As well as all these Archons. That was a kill on this Nexus. And Aristry, he's fighting back. He says no to the PvPs. Not this time, not this week. GG gets called and Aristry will take game number 1. GG. GG. Aristry flexing a little bit here with his Swarm Toss style. Again, a little bit more of an older style here. I think this is the first time... no, never mind. I was going to say I think this is the first time I've seen Swarm Host in this matchup this season. But I've seen a couple of Zerg players go Swarm Host on Raz's Station. I think it was Lambo. Lambo went Swarm Host against Max Pax on Raz's Station as well. I think that was the last time. That was like a month ago, maybe, in WTL. Maybe 2 months ago at this point. Maybe 2 months ago. But yeah, it's not something you see too often. So I do appreciate it. Always appreciate seeing these more unique compositions. And with that, Aristry does take a lead. Here we go. We're going to be getting into game number 2. See the chat. I'm here for any Swarm Host play. Yeah, let's go. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Hardland, we have the Polish Zerg player, the Red Zerg, leading the series 1-0, representing Twisted Minds. It is Aristry. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the purple Polish Protoss player, representing the Platinum Heroes down in the series, looking to fight back. It is Rodzin. Here we go. As we're going to be settling on in to game number 2. Now, I'm curious if Aristry is willing to go Swarmhost again in game number 2 as well. Just because his playstyle was very much so momentum-based. Like, it was very imperative that Aristry was able to get its first Swarmhost across the map and get value with them, and to try to snowball out of control. Eventually he did. It took a while, but eventually he was able to snipe some bases. What I'm concerned about if Aristry does commit to Swarmhost is that it did look like over the course of that game, Rodzin was getting a better idea of how to deal with it, specifically Sky Toss. And I do think that if we do see Swarmhost again, Rodzin is going to be much more mentally prepared and just willing to transition out of those Blink Stalkers and into, you know, a more Sky Toss heavy composition. So I expect something different this time out of Aristry. I expect something different, but we'll see. We shall see. Meanwhile, big shout out to Kura rocking up in the chats. Neo Reno, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Thank you for the thank you. And welcome Aztecs. Did see you earlier. Earlier today. The days are blending together. I think you were competing in Kung Fu Cup, right? Against Dark? Yeah. So you're in Kung Fu Cup earlier today. Bienvenidos. Hope you had a good time. Hope you had a solid series there. So we're getting ready for our next game. So we're getting ready to dive into this, and it is going to be once again a Stargate opener from Rodzin. Standard stuff. Stargate opener. Likewise, Aristry going for his third base. Link speed is on the way. We're pulling out of gas as well. We're just going to be droning, and everything is just looking as it should. Remember, last game, Rodzin did go and commit into Oracles, but didn't really achieve too much with it. He was able to deny the 4th, but didn't really kill too many workers. I was impressed. Very impressed with Aristry's defense overall. But outside of that, outside of getting the 4th, the Oracles were a little bit lackluster. But against Dark, game 1 actually was pretty good. Oh, let's go. I killed 3 queens with my Archon drop, and I held this push with Warp Prism Micro. I'm proud. Let's go, let's go. Good to hear, good to hear. How are you? I'm a little bit tired. We just wrapped up Kung Fu Cup, and now we're going straight into the House Open Cup. I'm looking forward to Bedge after this. I'm looking forward to it. As we get ready for the weekend. But now though, 3rd is on the way. Once again, going to be an Oracle opener, into a 2nd, into a 3rd Oracle behind this. We're going to be threatening the mineral lines here of Aristry. Dipping into that natural as well. But the queens are in position, already shaving off the shields here of that Oracle. Rudzin not really finding too much damage here. But it's okay because we have additional Oracles. Additional Oracles are coming out. The question really becomes, as we get into the mid-game, what are we going to be working with? We are loading into Hard Lead, and Hard Lead has a very short rush distance by ground. It is very commonplace here to go for Roach-based all-ins off of a 3-base or even sub-3-base economy. We are going to be getting up to 53 drones here. We'll see if we cut workers at 60. We'll see if we do drone up a little bit further and get a 4th base. If not, we could cut workers a little bit earlier. We could commit to aggression. For now, though, Triple Oracle into Twilight Council and Forge. Rudzin is playing standard off of this. So standard opener here. This should be +1 on Blink Stalkers. Likewise, Oracles are moving out. Ristery getting 2 layers. Hopefully we can cancel one of them soon, as Oracles are soon to arrive. Coming in, they do get eyes on the queens. They get 2 drones. Pretty good damage so far. As Oracles are going to be racing back home. We get the revelation off. We get eyes on both. Oh, he's letting him know. Oh, he's a nice guy. Dobra. Shout out to Rudzin. He just told him you have 2 layers, and Aristery just thanked him. Jake. Less than 3. Good guy Rudzin. If he wanted to, he could have let him finish. Could have let him finish both. Hydra Den is on the way. Nice guy. I just checked the bracket. Lots of Protoss. Yeah, a lot of Protoss. Cool. As the Oracles, they do get into the main base. They take down one of those queens. Oh my god. A queen. They get 3 more drones as well. Good damage done here from Rudzin. As Aristery, we can see our tech of choice. This time we are avoiding the roaches. We are avoiding Swarm Host. We're going Ling Hydra instead. Up against Blink Stalkers, a pretty powerful composition. This can struggle against Charged Archon. Can definitely struggle. And even especially against Glaive follow-ups as well. But straight up against Blink Stalkers, this can do well. So Aristery taking a bit of a chance. Looking at the vision here, Rudzin, he was unable to scout, unable to confirm what was going on. Is pushing out with his Stalkers, is soon about to run into Hydras and Lings. And here we go. Rudzin is going to be pushing. Now for the first time, getting eyes on the Hydras. He's going to back off, he's going to respect it. Lings are going down. We're getting on some of the Hydras though. Where are the Lings? Not too many Lings here so far. Good control out of Aristery. He's going to be pulling back. He's going to be trading well, but clutch transfuse. We keep the Hydras alive. We get on top of the Stalkers. And Aristery will hold. Again, that was 3 Hydras, 10 Lings for 7 Stalkers. A much better trade here for the Zerg. The Lings, they did a great job here buffering. Essentially just 3 Hydras for 7 Stalkers. Behind this, Rudzin is teching. He's going into a second Robo and Colossus production, but it's going to take some time. It's going to take some time to take into this. He's trying to be as aggressive as possible. He's being in the face of Aristery. But the Lings, they come in for a surround. Ooh, big stasis trap. We catch a lot of Lings. Despite that, Aristery just bullying Rudzin back. And honestly, Rudzin is vulnerable. He's very vulnerable at the moment. He is still waiting for his Robos to finish up, still waiting for his Colossus production. And Aristery is going to be the first to max. He's knocking down these rocks, and he's going to be pushing. Rocks are being knocked down. We're cutting workers here at 75. We have a solid, almost 4 base economy. 5th base is on the way. 1-1 about to kick in. And Aristery, we can commit. There is 1 stasis trap behind this. How good is it going to be? It has to be amazing. Can it catch some of the Hydras? Not quite. Not quite, as the base is going to fall. That's going to be a kill, not a cancel on the Nexus. And Aristery is going to stutter step forward, getting on top of the Stalkers as well. Charge has finished. Delta going to be coming in. Colossus is still on the way. If we can somehow survive long enough to get into Colossi, then maybe we can hold, but that's going to be a kill on the Cyber Core. No more Stalkers, no more Adepts, no more Sentries. The Colossi have arrived, and we are committing on the right-hand side. Yeah, we're stutter stepping forward, picking up whatever we can. The Colossus! Oh my god. We thought about diving on them, but Aristery is going to retreat. Again, he has to respect the Colossus. but he still traded so well. He killed the Nexus, killed the base. The probe count's still looking solid here for the Protoss, but just doesn't have the bases to mine from. And Aristry from here, he can back off, he can take up. Infestation bits on the way. There's going to be for Hive Tech, for eventually Vipers as well, if we need them. For now, though, Aristry, he can focus on maxing out on Ling Hydra and push out again. Now, for the next attack, we're not going to have 2 Colossus, we're going to have 4. 3rd and 4th Colossus are on the way, they're almost done. And 4 Colossi is a big power spike for the Protoss. It's going to be a big moment for him. He's going to be hoping that maybe the Ling Hydra crashes into him, as Rodzin is taking up even further. Templar Archives on the way. Aristry should be working towards Hydra Lurker Viper. No Lurker Den yet. That is a bit of a misstep. We should be seeing it soon, in line with the Hive. Just so we can commit into Lurker Tech and Lurker upgrades. Otherwise, Rodzin could snowball out of control, especially considering that his 4th base is soon to be back up and running, and we did maintain most of our probes, so we can resaturate. Rodzin is still in this. Oh, that's a kill, not a cancel. Oh. 300 minerals down the drain. At the same time, Aristry, he's looking to try to cut Rodzin up. He goes straight for the Nexus, but yeah, not going to be worth it. Bleeds out a lot of Lings. Hive is on the... Wait, what? Wait, what? Am I crazy? Did he cancel the Hive? No. Wait. Am I crazy? Was it not starting earlier? It just restarted. Wait, what? I'm losing my mind. As a Colossi pushing them forward, a lot of Hydra's going to be going down on the right-hand side, though. We do catch one a little bit exposed. But good control here from Rodzin. He cleans up all those Hydras. He did, okay, he did cancel. That was a bit of a mistake there from Aristry. I don't think that was intentional. And with only Ling Hydra, he's in a lot of trouble. Yeah, the Colossi, they're snowballing out of control. They swipe away at the Lings and the Hydras. All things Zerg melts here before the Colossi, and it looks like Aristry, he's not ready for this. Rodzin has done it. GG gets called. We're going to the ace match. GG, well played. Ooh. GG again. We spoke about that power spike. 4 Colossi is a terrifying thing, and if you don't have Lurkers or Vipers, you cannot stand up against that with only Ling Hydra. It's so difficult to pull that off. The only way to do it would be if you also had Banelings, and you could get like maybe like a 360 surround with Ling Bane Hydra, then maybe you can pull that off, but just a straight up fight, not gonna go the way of the Zerg. And again, if we want to be a little bit critical, initially it was a good attack from Aristry, killing the base and forcing back the army, but we needed Lurkers. We needed Lurkers for the counterattack. Aristry was a little bit greedy. If you remember, he delayed his Lurker Den, waiting for the Hive, instead of going for Lair Tech Lurkers. Lair Tech Lurkers, they don't sound amazing, but they keep you alive. They allow you to survive long enough to get into Hive Tech, to get into Vipers. The other option would have been a faster Hive as well, for just Vipers instead, if you want to stay on Ling Hydra. But as you saw there again, the Lunkers, they had their place, and it was a little bit too late for Aristry, and now we're getting into the ace match. Game 3, for the first time tonight. And here we go, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Solaris. We have the red Zerg player representing Team Twisted Mind. It is Aristry. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have our purple Polish Protoss player representing Team Platinum Heroes, looking to make the non-stop PvP semifinals a reality. It is Rodzin. Here we go. So we're getting into our openers, getting into our builds. As a reminder, the lower semifinals is going to be Cristiano versus Art. The upper semifinals is going to be Papi versus the winner of this series. So it's either going to be non-stop Protoss for top 4, or we could have a Zerg player in the mix as well. But it all comes down to this. It all comes down to game 3. The ace match. Here we go. The giraffe dominance. Ah, the dominance, Papi. Walk all over us. But again, like coming back to it, like that was Aristry just being a little bit too greedy. Like you can totally start up the Lurker Den at the same time that he started up his Infestation Pit. If he was willing to embrace, again, just Lurkers a little bit early on. Did feel like Aristry was maybe thinking he was a little bit further ahead than he was, and that he could get away with delaying it a little bit. Obviously, the cancelled Hive was a mistake, and with that, he could have gone into faster Vipers. I don't know if that would have been enough, just because Vipers take a long time to gather up energy. So it would have been close. Would have been very close, whether or not Aristry would have been able to finish up those Vipers in time and have them ready for the fight. Regardless, you know, we got to shake it up and get into our next game. So far, standard openers. Gain expand into the Cyber Core here for Rodzin. Likewise, Hatch Gas Pool out of Aristry. No early gases, no early spawning pools. Everything is looking normal. And once again, Stargate Opener. I mean, Rodzin has been going for Stargate Openers and Triple Oracle every single game so far, and I imagine we're going to be seeing the same. Really, my eyes are on Aristry because he has been mixing it up. Game 1, Swarm Host. Game 2, Hydras. Game 3, Motas? What do we see in Game 3? We could go Ling Bane into Ultra. We could go Ling Roach into Muta. We have options. We have options here. I'm not too familiar with what Aristry enjoys doing. I'm not too familiar with his play style, so yeah, he's more of an enigma to me, so I'm ready for it. Ready to see what he has to offer. As opposed to Trifax, for example. Trifax we cast a lot more frequently. He's a lot more active in tournaments. Trifax is all about, like, 6/6 drone, like, just Roach Ravager. He's very fond of just amassing and getting into Ling Bane Roach Ravager in the mid-game. But last, we are still getting into this. Meanwhile, big shout out to Just Jordan in the chat. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session. I believe Jordan was covering the OSC Rising Cup or the Rising Tournament. Hold on. What was the name? Oh, sorry. OSC Elite Rising Star. That's it. The Rising Star. Hope you had a good time. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great tournament. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the quarterfinals of the House Open Cup. Those that are curious, this is a Polish-only tournament. Only Polish players here. And I mentioned before that this event is a lot more up in the air because typically the dominant players in this tournament are players like a Laser, Spirit, Geralt. But those three players I just mentioned have been traveling to DreamHack Atlanta and traveling back from DreamHack Atlanta as well. And as a result, they're all missing. They're all taking a bit of a break, taking a bit of a rest after their long travels, after an intense weekend of StarCraft, which means this is anyone's game. This is anyone's tournament. Mainly Protoss, but and here we go. The Oracle's going to be diving on in. We do catch a couple of transferring workers. 3, 4. Oh my god, almost 5 drones go down. And we only lose shields. Good control here from Rodzin. Behind this, getting his third base up and running, and we have our transition. It is going to be a Robo into a Forge with a delayed Twilight Council. Okay, so a very... oh god, no! The Queens! They get in position. They almost shut down the Oracle. It's so close! As we find a couple of extra drones here, and the Oracles will escape. Just barely. But again, this is a delayed Twilight Council, so this is very tech-heavy. Essentially, Immortal production early on into +1. Essentially, we will still be working towards Charge and Blink Stalkers, don't get me wrong, but because we don't have them anytime soon, we're going to be staying back at home. This is a very tech-heavy and defensive style. Second Robo's on the way for double Colossus production. We're going to be turtling up, getting up to 4 bases, eventually towards Archons, Charge Lots, Colossus, Immortals, working up a death pool of an army, and then we push. So a very defensive style here from Rodzin. He's being active with his Oracles, yes, but he won't be active with much else. As he finds 2 more drones, still keeps all 3 Oracles alive. Meanwhile, now we know what Rodzin is up to. Aristry, back at home, +1 melee. We are getting into Ling Bane, or I should say Ling Roach Ravager. No Baneling Nest yet. We are working towards a 4th base, and we are droning. We're droning up to around 66, which is 3 base saturation, but we are taking additional gases. We are taking additional bases as well. It looks like Aristry is going to be droning up to 4 base saturation. Looks like we aren't really concerned with hitting a strong timing yet. I'm still keeping my eye on the production tab. I'm still curious if we saturate this base or if we just double down and max out here and now, which is definitely possible. Okay, I'm making 2 Colossi at a time. I'm going to be making 2, then a 3rd and 4th behind this. So just building up that count. Eventually, we should already be seeing the Twilight Council at this point, and we're going for it. Oh god, we're going for some Drop Lord play. Lings are moving out. Do pick off a couple of extra workers here at the 4th. Lings, they are going for a drop here towards that natural. We can see Aristry still droning, so he is not cutting workers. His worker count may be low. It is actually quite low, which is surprising, but we're still droning. The creep is looking good. His army has been revealed. We can see Rodzen getting in position, more stack defense. We can see cannons, shield batteries again. We're just turtling up hard. I think this is a bit of an oversight. We should 100% have the Twilight Council by now. It is missing. Again, even with double robo play, we should have it by this point. And here we go. We have the drop into that natural base. Rodzen, he does spot this ahead of time, though. He does warp in. There we go. Zealot Stalkers on the way. And there it is. Twilight Council now gets thrown down. I think he just noticed that he didn't have charge. Oh, good force fields. But I think he just noticed he didn't have charge, so now we do have it on the way. It is late. This is going to keep Rodzen contained a little bit longer, as he is up to still 2 Colossi, and he's focusing on Immortal production at this point. Not getting up to a 3rd and 4th. We can maybe posture, but we shouldn't really be pushing anytime soon. There's still no Warp Prism to reinforce. There's no, again, charge or even blink to support the army either. The creep is looking quite good here for Aristry, but his worker count is still very low. We're taking up to Hive Tech, but we're at sub 70 workers. Like, I'm not convinced. I do think that it's just taking a little bit too long to drone, especially considering how passive the Protoss player has been. We spoke about it. Like, it's been very defensive here from Rodzen. Despite that, Aristry's economy hasn't really been going yet. It's been taking a long time to really come into the swing of things, as now we're joining up to 72. We do have the Rich Resting Gas Geyser, which is helping. But it does feel like Rodzen, again, the way to take advantage of this is to drone up hard, drone up to 80 as quickly as possible, get up to Hive Tech as quickly as possible, and get into Viper production. Well, good wiles. But it still feels like, again, we haven't really been able to take advantage of the Protoss here. Roach then counterattack, breaking through towards the natural. We do have Immortals in position. We will hold. Good trades against the Zealots, at least. And charge still on the way. We see Rodzen defending on both fronts. Without charge, he shouldn't be pushing. We still don't have a Warp Prism, I believe. It's still no Warp Prism, so we're still just turtling. As we are committing a little bit harder, a drop into the natural. But we have eyes on this. So Roaches are dropped in. At the same time, we do try to dive on top of the main army as well. Big stasis trap. 1 Colossus did fall. That's a lot of Immortals. We have to pull back to the shield battery. Our Narcon goes down. It feels like we're lacking supportive units here for Rodzen. But there we go. We're warping in. We catch Roaches. We clean up the drops. And we are transitioning into Skytoss? Question mark? I believe we're still only on 1 Stargate, so interesting choice here. Vipers are on the way. Hive is done. So Roach, Ravager, Hydra can work well. Can work quite well here. This army from Rodzen, very Immortal heavy. It feels like we're still lacking Zealots. I would love to see additional Warp-ins. We're on 8 gateways. I do worry that these Vipers may go uncontested. It's going to be close here. It's going to be a dance between the spellcasters. We have a lot of High Templar, a lot of feedback, opportunity. Zealots get in. Zealots do get in. Vipers have been revealed. We yoink 2 of those Immortals already. Big pickups. Oh. 2 Immortals go down. At the same time, 18 drones. Oh my god. This is becoming far too much. Back at home, we have Stack Defense. The drop does nothing. And 20 workers have gone down. Big storms as well. A decent feedback. The Yoink does nothing. The Colossus does survive. Hey, who needs War Prisms? As we're going to be dropping into the main base instead, we do have a Void Ray, a handful of units to defend. Big storms! Massive storms here on the Ravagers. Vipers, they're out of energy, and it looks like Rod's and he's snowballing out of control. Again, he doesn't have a way to reinforce this on the front lines because he doesn't have that prism. But it may not matter. His base is close enough. We can reinforce in a matter of seconds. He does take some biles to the face. That one Colossus barely standing. Again, he's pushing in, and he is outscaling Aristri. Roach Ravager is just not an ideal army composition. Not against this many Immortals. Yeah, we're breaking on through. And the PvP tournament, it's here. GG gets called. Rodzin will snowball out of control. We'll take the series 2-1. And only Protoss remain. GG. Let's go. GG, well played. Rodzin able to whip out a different style here on Solaris. Again, a very tech-heavy defensive style, just turtling up on 4 bases. And again, there are ways to punish this, but again, Aristri just, yeah, did feel a little bit tentative about droning up too much and about taking too much. He was kind of stuck on a bit of a subpar army, and it took him, we mentioned at the time, it did take a long time for him to really get into his economy and really be able to keep up with his opponent. GG, well played with that. A big shout out to Aristri. My condolences as he is going to be eliminated from the tournament, but some really fun games nonetheless. I mean, hey, he made Swarmhost work. A lot of fun. Was a lot of fun to see that as we are getting into our first our first semifinals of the tournament. It is going to be Art versus Cristiano. Let's go. And as we get ready for this, as we get ready for all these PvPs, I'm going to be bringing in a PvP expert. Again, who better to cast Protoss versus Protoss than Kuro? At that.
I'm leaving. No, okay.
Let's go, let's go. Big shout out to Kuro. Kuro is going to be joining us here for the semifinals onwards for that Protoss expertise.
Ah, yes, the Protoss expertise from Azeric. Yes,
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah. Let's go. Let us go. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me today. Especially for a momentous occasion. I was bringing this up earlier, but this is the final House Open Cup of the year.
Oh, that is true. That is last of the year because those are bi-weekly. So unless they are doing another one, has it been confirmed that it's the last one?
I don't know. I'm just saying. I don't know.
I mean, technically they still could like fit one in.
We could have another House Cup tomorrow. We could have one right after this one.
Guys, what has PvP done tonight? What has been happening? Anyway, we are now in game already. We are on side Delta Alley, and we are looking at the first of our Protoss players, because apparently there's a lot of them. It's the pink Protoss Polish player. That order is wrong, but whatever. From Platinum Heroes, it is Art.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the red Polish Protoss player representing Team Blazer. It is Cristiano.
Okay, so what should I have you had more PvPs today yet?
No.
Or is this the first PvP?
This is our first. We're doing our best here to feature some of the other races out there. We're doing our best to feature some of the other players as well. Players like, as we saw, Aristri, Mishu. We casted Angry for the first time earlier, which was interesting.
No.
Snogstar as well.
Yeah, I've never seen him play.
Yeah, me neither. He played mech.
Yeah.
There was a lot of mech. There was a lot of BCs. Yeah.
Oh,
He's quite a character as well. He was BMing a little bit, which was interesting to see.
I mean, he is called angry.
He is called, yeah. I was like, what? I mean, what do we expect? You know, it was
The clue is in the name, you know.
it's true. It's very true. Very true. Shaking my head. But yeah, it's been a fun tournament. We've been trying to avoid the PvPs, but it's Poland. You can only avoid it for so long.
I mean, only one of the races starts with a P, so I mean.
It's true.
So I mean, it's inevitable to have the Polish PvP eventually.
Yes.
Unfortunately, that means we can't have all the Protoss players playing in pink. But I mean, speaking of which, this is probably awful for broadcast. Pink versus red.
I mean, I'd settle for pink versus purple. I'd settle for it.
We had that before, yeah.
We have.
That was a thing.
Keep it. But we are just settling into this, and so far nothing too crazy. Pretty standard openers overall. I say that we had Art try to hide a pylon, and he actually went for a gate expand. Very interesting. Actually didn't throw down the second gateway here in the main, so a much more economic opener out of Art.
Okay. Okay. I have not seen them play for a while. Let's just put it that way. And I just wonder who is technically the favorite here, because we've been seeing a lot of Cristiano in the recent tournaments, but Art has not been as active, I feel like, or maybe I just missed him.
Yeah, Art, he hasn't been as active for... I mean, he took a break. Remember, he took a break at the start of the year. He was gone. I thought he retired, and then suddenly he came back. So you're never really retired. You're never really gone. Just like Meeks, you know, still competing.
And then Platinum Heroes got another Art.
Yeah, they got another Art, which is totally not confusing whatsoever. But I agree. I do want to, like, it's one of those things where, like, I favor Cristiano here. Out of all players left in the tournament, I favor him. But PvP. So it's like,
it is a PvP.
Yeah.
And it looks like we have our first differences, as we have Twilight Council already on the way for Art. I don't think Cristiano has one, no.
Yeah, we do see Cristiano going to be committing here to a War Prism, so he's going to be a little bit active on the map. It's just a really interesting game so far. Basically, Cristiano's going to be moving out, trying to go for some Adept harass. Likewise, Art is doing the same. The goal of these Prisms is to try to ferry these Adepts into mineral lines to get into some of these bases and to kill probes.
Are they going to pass each other? They're going right the same direction. They're meeting each other in the middle of the map, and it's really the Spider-Man meme moment.
Yeah, they do spot each other. Stalkers move out immediately here for Cristiano. He does meet up with the Adepts, and he's going to be able to shut them down. The Prism a little bit too far away, but we do save all four of them.
Yeah, the Adepts were saved, but they were also stopped. Meanwhile, at the same time, in the base of Art, we have two Adepts from Cristiano, and they will unload, and actually Cristiano is leaving them there.
Yeah, the Adepts, they try to get into the mineral line, and they can one-shot workers, but it looks like they do not quite make it in. I mean, I say that, we do have more Adepts here in the natural.
Oh, the Guardian Shield is interesting. Does it actually work for Adepts? I guess it does, right?
It does, but the DPS is quite a bit high here, so 7 probes go down. Pretty good damage so far. Meanwhile, across the map, Art wasn't able to achieve too much at all here. He was focusing on his defense, but he still has the Adepts available. He still has potential to deal some counter damage.
Yeah, the thing is that Cristiano did lose those Adepts, so he will have to warp in new ones. Meanwhile, Art is trying to go in, and he will meet the Starker, so I don't think he's getting any damage done here anyway.
Oh yeah, he is going to be forced back. So far, good defense from Cristiano. Because of this, I would say that he's in a much better position here. He's taking a third base. He's ahead in the economy. Art does have a lead with Blink, so maybe he can make something happen with that, but it's going to be a small window because Cristiano isn't too far behind with his own.
Yeah, his Twilight Council was much later than Art's, but his Blink is actually quite close, so I don't think Art will be able to use that window. I guess it looks like we're just gonna have to like mass proper armies and then fight.
Yeah, it looks like both players are going to be backing up for the time being. We're getting into our 3 base economies here. As we do kind of settle into this, and Art's going to be going for a much more committed style. Both players in different ways. We have Glaive Adepts for Art, we have DTs for Cristiano.
DTs, I mean, I expected. We are looking at the Protoss game, but Glaives? That's an interesting choice for me.
Yeah, it's a very all-in way to play. Basically, Glaive Adepts are very similar to Charge Lots in that they can take a lot of hits. It takes a lot of Stalker and Immortal hits to kill Glaive Adepts, so you can try to dive on an army and try to like dive on and just go for one big push. Likewise, you can also use that to try to wreak havoc in the mineral line and get a lot of economic damage done. For now, though, the army's going to be clashing, and we do trade Stalker for Stalker.
Yeah, look like Cristiano is trying to press the issue, and he is getting a few units here and there, but I mean, nothing major yet. That Warp is though, that Warp is still threatening.
It is threatening that main base. Art, meanwhile, he has the immortal advantage, so even though he has less Stalkers, even though his army is less mobile, it is beefier here. There's a lot more firepower in those immortals. In a head-to-head fight, Cristiano has to be careful. He does pick off one more Stalker. Oh.
Yeah, barely doesn't get another one, and it looks like Art is ready to chase this, but at the same time the Warp is, and actually Art is prepared, but not for the DTs.
There's an observer though, and it looks like we do have detection available. One Stalker goes down at the same time. Art, he is on the chase. He's going for the main army. Another DTs does peel off into the natural though.
Yeah, there's no detection here. The observer has to move away, but at the same time the probes are dying at the third base as well, and another 7 probes going down.
Yeah, another 7 workers. Cristiano is taking a 4th base behind this as well, so he is so far ahead in the economy. Cristiano, he has 63 probes to the 48 of his opponent. But Art does have maybe a better army, so we can still pull this off, even with those Glaive Adepts. And there we go, 8 Adepts are on the way.
Yeah, the thing is, I mean, with the economical gap being wider, Art has to start making things happen. He has to go across the map. He has to see if he can get some damage done, and he very well may. Looking at the army of Cristiano, Art does look pretty strong, but the thing is, will he be able to use it?
Yeah, again, as we mentioned before when we saw the Glaives, it's just a very all-in way to play. It's like one fight, one big fight is all that Art has. Unfortunately, he's kind of forced into it. There's no other option because of his economy. Cristiano's going for a big counterattack at the same time. Art is pushing as well, so Cristiano is out of position.
Yeah, and more probes will be going down, so Art just has to go completely all in with this. He's going to the natural, and there is no defense, and it looks like we're going straight for a base trade.
Yeah, we're going for a base trade. Probes are going to be evacuating for Art, so he does manage to escape. He gets a kill on the natural base. At the same time, though, Cristiano also pushing in, getting a kill on the natural base of his opponent. There are more bases, though, here for Cristiano. He does have a 4th, bear that in mind. But it has a shade in, and we're splitting up.
Yeah, I mean, he does have more bases, but he will soon have literally no workers. I mean, Art still has the 3rd base. I think the workers are currently running away from the 3rd base, but that's about it. That's how much he will save.
Yeah, Cristiano is going towards the top right-hand corner of the map. He does take down the economy here. A lot of these gateways are still powered. It looks like Cristiano is going for the recall.
Where is he recalling to though? Oh, he's recalling to the 4th base to face the adepts. Very interesting. I mean, he is covering the probes that are escaping to the top corner. But is this enough to fight this?
Yeah, looking at the army supplies here, the army supplies are very close. I still want to favor Art because of all his immortals. That does just give him a big X factor here as he shuts down the production. Every gateway is going to be going down. At the same time, the gateways are also falling here for Art as well. He's down to these Blink Stalkers, and so far he's maneuvering well. He doesn't lose anything yet.
Yeah, the important thing is that Cristiano did split his army, so this is only part of his army. So if he doesn't move properly, he may lose quite a lot of it. But at the same time, Art is running out of buildings. He doesn't have another base.
I'm a little bit surprised. He has all these probes, but the probes, they go down. Art, he has 1 worker left, 1 probe here towards the bottom left-hand corner of the map. He can afford another base, but bases are falling here fast for Art.
Yeah, he has to be careful. He may be just eliminated if he doesn't place a building soon. I think he still has these few pylons on the map, so he won't be eliminated. But yeah, there you go. There we have another Nexus in the bottom left.
Yeah, I was about to say that he has enough for a Nexus. Meanwhile, the armies are going to be clashing here in the center of the map. The Adepts are looking for a dive here on the army.
Yeah, they will try to dive in. They will snipe a few units. I don't think they can get an immortal, but the Zealots are running straight in.
Really good force fields from Cristiano. He does avoid all those immortals. They're stuck on the other side of the force fields. Every adept goes down. Cristiano, he takes a beautiful fight.
Yeah, and most of the units are going down. The Blink Micro is nice, but it's not enough. And Cristiano will be taking game number 1.
GG, well played. Again, really good positioning there from Cristiano. Really good force fields as well. Even though the advantage that Art had were those immortals, they did nothing in that final fight. They were stuck and they couldn't engage.
Yeah, the Immortals were stuck, so they weren't contributing. At the same time, the Adepts were squished between the force field and charge loss, so they also met the end quite quickly. And yeah, this was a really nice fight for Cristiano.
Really nice fight. The really chaotic end of the game, of course, with the base trade and Art cutting it close when it came to refusing to throw down a Nexus.
Oh yeah.
But in the end, it came down to that final fight.
Yeah, let me tell you, that was anxiety inducing when I was like, oh, well, I have 400 minerals, but I have to pick the right place for a base. Okay, I'm gonna take my time.
Yes, did take his time in the end, and I mean, thankfully he threw it down, but it didn't really come down to that. And with that, Cristiano takes game number 1, but it's a best of 3. Best of 3, so Art can, of course, come back in this. And again, even though Cristiano did take the game, it was still pretty close and still could have gone either way, really.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like again, as you said, like a lot like depended on the fights, on the positioning. Like the base trade was really close. Like both players were out of production. They had their last buildings on the map. It's just that the final fight went the way of Cristiano.
It did go his way. With that though, we're going to be getting ready to continue our semifinals, and yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun, definitely covering the House Open Cup. It's been really cool to see Kashin bring this all together as well towards the end of the year. I think you mentioned before, but I think we have a confirmed date for the offline event, right?
Oh yeah, I believe so. Hold on. Let me quickly find the announcement again. I'm pretty sure they have a Discord event on their Discord.
Oh.
So that's an easy way to check, but it is January 27th. It's a Saturday.
Okay.
At least in Europe, it's a Saturday.
Yeah, so for those that are curious, this event, these bi-weekly online events that we've been having is sponsored by a gaming bar in Poland, in Warsaw, in the capital Poland. And I believe we've been waiting for the announcement of when the offline event is going to happen at the end of this season of bi-weekly events, because these online tournaments, they've been providing points for the players to actually be invited and seeded into the event itself. And apparently it was recently announced the final date for the offline event.
Yeah, so it will be at the end of January in the as you said, the gaming bar in Warsaw, in Warszawa.
There you go.
I'm trying to remember the address. I think Marszałkowska 64? 64?
64. Not 69?
No. I think it's 64.
There you go.
I can't be wrong. That's just purely of my memory, and I'm not famous for having good memory, so you know.
There you go. So if you happen to be local in Poland, then be sure you're a part of that. Be sure you can come together here. I mean, there's a lot going on in Poland, of course, with IM Katowice on the horizon, but before that, hey, we got our local Polish event as well. So yeah, really good time to be a StarCraft fan in Poland.
It's like literally 2 weeks before Katowice.
Yeah.
So yeah, the schedule is pretty tight. But anyway, we are now loaded into game number 2, and we are on Oceanborn, Evie. Looking at once again at our, hold on, let me get the order correctly. Pink Polish Protoss player of Platinum Heroes.
Yeah.
It is Art. I might have counted on my fingers.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Polish Protoss player representing Team Blazer, leading the series 1-0. It is Cristiano. With that, we are getting. Sorry, I was just updating the Twitch title. Just.
Oh, good.
Beautiful.
So far, so good. So far, we have the mirrored builds, but I think it was similar in the first game.
Yeah. Now that you bring that up here, we, for the first time, do have Ars going for a 2-gate opener. Last game, he went for a gate expand. It was a little more economic, but this time it's a little more standard here on Oceanborn.
Okay. Yeah, no hidden pylons yet either, so it doesn't look like either of the players will be going for that. And I guess we just have to wait to see where it goes.
Yeah, we will wait and see. Basically, we're waiting for the first 2 units to come out. The Cyber Cores are about to finish up, and then we can go into either Double Adept, Double Stalker, or Stalker Sentry.
Nice.
Okay,
thanks, guys.
Yeah,
really good.
It's all good. It's all good. So Double Stalker from Cristiano and Stalker Sentry from Art.
Yeah, I thought they're gonna be a bit more aggressive, but hey. I mean, Stalkers can still be useful.
Yeah, they definitely can be. As Art is going for a much more defensive opener with the Sentry. The big reason why this has, oh my god, the big reason why this has so much value here in the early game is because you can scout your opponent with the hallucination just to get a read on any kind of aggressive kind of build that's coming across the map. But Art is going for a Robo as his tech of choice.
Yeah, it looks like Cristiano is going for that Sentry as well, so it looks like basically they're getting the same units just in slightly different order. And yeah, we're just gonna have to see what they're gonna do with that. Cristiano already getting his Twilight Council before the Robo, so I mean, what do you think? What do you think Art is planning with the Robo? What is he dropping?
So Robo
or is
first,
he just going immortal?
Yeah, Robo first is like a very defensive way to play. It's a very scared way to play as well, which is interesting to me. Because of this, his Nexus is late. Cristiano, his is already well underway. And Art, he's starting early in mortal production. Basically, this is to counteract any kind of one-base all-in. Hallucination does come in, and now Art is aware that his opponent has been economic and has a delayed tech here in favor of Nexus.
Delayed tech, but he already does have Blink on the way. Meanwhile, Art obviously does not have a Twilight Council. But as you said, he is being defensive, he is getting those Immortals, and I wonder if Art was just scared after previous game, considering that it went all the way to the base trade.
Yeah, I'm curious as well. So the hallucination does confirm how late this expansion is. Again, Cristiano's is already done. And he's also aware of the Robo. We see the Prism on the way, so Art is going to be pushing. This is a really interesting build from Art. He has potential with this, I guess. Like, he has a lot of force fields available. Before Blink, force fields are going to be really, really crucial when it comes to these big fights. But yeah, Art, he's pushing.
I was gonna lie, that single Immortal just you know, having a stroll around the map is a little scary. It's like if it walks into the wrong neighborhood.
Yeah, it's gonna get jumped. It's very, very stressful, but we are pushing. And again, as you mentioned, Blink is still not quite done, so before that happens, every single force field can slice up the army, and it can kind of really dictate the pace of this game. Meanwhile, Cristiano, he has 2 shield batteries already. Upon seeing the opener, he's aware that Immortals are pushing.
Yeah, the Blink is about to be done though, only 10 seconds left, and it looks like Art is sniping on probes before that, so we'll see if that will matter.
Yeah, we have the overcharge. We have 2 shield batteries as well. Good target firing on one of those Stalkers, and with this, we're going to easily defend the concave in favor of Cristiano. He's going to shut this down.
Yeah, he's even jumping on the War Prison. He's gonna take it down, and yeah, just like that, Cristiano takes game number 2.
GG, well played. Cristiano scouting, getting a really good read on what his opponent was up to, getting eyes on the late expansion on the fast Robo, took it seriously, prepared, and yeah, had just a really solid fight back at home.
I feel like Art also, just like how you were saying, he was kind of hoping that Blink wasn't done yet, because he did see it on the way, but it wasn't quite finished. But unfortunately for him, like, Blink finished just as the fight started, and in the end, those force fields didn't really matter.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if he had attacked only a couple of seconds sooner, then he would have been able to take advantage of how late the tech was from Cristiano. It would have been a very very small window, right? Very small window. It would have been very crisp, but it was there, it was available, but Art did just barely miss it.
Yeah. Unfortunate for Art, but I mean, Cristiano really did really well this series, and he will be taking this series 2-0, moving on to the finals.
Yeah, Cristiano, he's going to be our first finalist, our first Protoss in the finals, but we're still here to determine which Protoss faces him in those finals, as our next match, our next series is going to be Papi versus Rodzin.
Oh boy. All the puppies.
Oh, the Papi.
So everybody raise your puppies in the chat. for the light subscribers.
Raise your pappies, raise them here as we're getting ready for our next PvP. And Bappy, I mean, he may even be the favorite. I don't know if you've been. I know you've been busy recently for the past couple of House Open Cups, but Bappy has been going like for some really impressive performances.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I've seen like at least the results. I'm not sure if I saw the games entirely, but yeah, I've seen Papi doing well actually.
Yeah, I think it was last week where Bappy made it to the finals and he beat Geralt to get there, which was very impressive. And likewise, I think 2 weeks before that, we had a similar run where he also made it to the finals as well.
Yeah, like Papi has been definitely on the rise lately. I'm looking forward to what he can do. I'm looking forward to him becoming part of the top of the Polish scene.
Yeah, when it comes to Polish players in Poland, I think we've all been looking at people like Geralt and Christianer and Art and Mana even from the old guard. They've been the players that we've been really focusing our attention on, a little bit less so like Papi and Rodzin and Ziomek. Like they're more of like the more mid-tier Protosses, but recently Papi has been improving.
Yeah, definitely has. And we'll see how it goes this time.
We'll see if he can make another finals
In
run.
the meantime, do you want to get an update from the in-game chat?
Not yeah, he keeps. This is not the first time today that Cristiano has been saying Tomb Raider. I don't understand. I don't know why.
He said he's gonna go play Tomb Raider
Okay.
and to just call him when the time comes.
Okay, he did that at the
He's
start of the
busy.
tournament as well. Yeah.
He's busy.
He's been playing Tomb Raider all day.
Yeah, I mean, fair point. Why not? May as well. I mean, if you're waiting for the games, you can be warming up, or you can be playing Tomb Raider. Anyway, enough about that, because we are now on Oceanborn LE. And none of our Protoss players is pink or purple. Because we have a blue Protoss player from Poland, representing Berserker Esports. It is Papi.
And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have the red Polish Protoss player representing the Platinum Heroes. It is Rodzin. And if you're in the chat very quickly, predictions are open. They're open for another minute. So place your bets on who you think advances on to the finals to face off against Christiana.
I just want to say that Berserker and Platinum Heroes have become really big clans.
Yeah, they're
Big teams. Like they have a lot of players, both of them.
they're the modern day version of Alpha X and
Yeah.
like maybe like Risen. I don't
No,
know.
I wouldn't say that because Reason was more like
More amateur.
amateur.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it will be closer to Alpha X. Yeah.
Yeah,
Where
yeah.
like they have like their top roster, but then there's like second roster, third roster, fifth roster, and so on.
There's like 5 tiers of like GM players on both Platinum Heroes and Berserker.
Yeah.
It's been really interesting to see them both like rise when it comes to just the amount of players that they have on their teams, and yeah, it's been really cool to see them thrive as well as we're getting into this, and we have a proxy pilot.
We do have a proxy panel on the Rodzen's side of the map, so it looks like it will be just some hidden tech maybe. Or maybe just a pylon.
And we have our opener here. It's going to be double Stalker out of Rodzin, going to be double Adept out of Papi. This is what you wanted last game. Papi is being aggressive.
Yes. Just go across the map. Do it.
We'll see how hard he commits, because it could be 2 Adept, it could be 4, could be 6, could be 8. We could just double down and just keep making Adepts. We'll see how hard we commit as it's only going to be 2.
That is cute. What is the point of this pylon?
To scout what comes.
Okay.
Like it's to
fair
see what
enough.
it's to see what 2 units come out without losing the purchase, essentially.
You have a point, because they do pop out on this side of the gateways usually, so at least you will be able to see them as they move out.
Yeah, and now the probe comes back in, and now we can scout what comes next. We do confirm the Nexus, so a really good scout here from Rodzin, confirming it's not going to be a 1-base all-in. Behind this, Rodzin does throw down a Stargate before Nexus back at home, so this should be for Oracle harassment. The Adepts, they have made it, but the wall is a wall.
Yeah, the wall is solid and the Stalkers are in the front as well. At the same time, the other 2 Stalkers are on the other side of the map, and they did snipe a shield battery, I believe.
Yeah, they force a cancel on the shield battery here. They dance with the main army as well. Adepts do not make it in. And Rodzen, he does find them.
Yeah, he fights the adepts and one of them will be getting a bit low, but I don't think it will be quite sniped. It will be saved just in time.
Yeah, but he does scout. He does confirm the lack of expansion. He commits a shade. He kills one probe here in the main base, and the wall is still looking solid. The Oracle's on the way. We have not scouted the Stargate opener yet from Rodzen.
Okay, I was afraid that the Drozen is gonna finish the wall and just gonna, completely lock himself out, but no, looks like he did cancel it in time. At the same time, the adepts are being cleaned. I think one of them will survive. Oh, for a time.
Yeah, a nice snipe there from Rodzen. He is now expanding. It's a very late expansion, so there's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of pressure on this Oracle to get damage done. Papi is up in workers. He has his army in position here at his natural. His main base does have a shield battery as well.
Yeah, so the Oracle won't be able to snipe any workers probably, but still may come with some stasis wards that will definitely damage the economy of Papi. At the same time, we have the Stalkers on the front, and they will see if they can distract Papi for long enough.
Oh yeah, they do distract the army for a moment. We do have that stasis trap into the main base as well, right into the center. Bold move, but Papi does notice. He pulls back, and only 2 probes get caught.
Yeah, I do think maybe that was a little bit too bold from Rodzen. Maybe if he went for a bit more of the edge, like it would just slip past Papi, but no, and the Stalkers are getting trapped as well.
Oh, the force fields. We get 1, we get 2, we almost get 3, but the third one does escape. At the same time, we have a second Oracle getting ready to dive in, but so far, trading energy for Stalkers, a good trade for Papi.
Yeah, good trade for Papi, and the Oracle actually comes back home. It looks like it won't get any more damage done, and yeah, maybe the 2 Oracles can snipe a few workers, but I did see Stalkers in the main base of Papi.
Yeah, we leave Stalkers in position. There's still that shield battery as well, potentially an overcharge as the Oracles are looking for some damage. Again, 2 Oracles can one-shot units, but we are paying attention, and Papi does zone back those Oracles.
Yeah, even the main army of Papi is trying to get those Oracles, so they have nothing to look for here, and I guess they will just be for scouting purposes here.
Yeah, now that the action does subside, Papi started with an economic lead, and he maintains an economic lead as well, so he's in a slightly better position. In saying that, Rodzen is going to have a slightly faster tech as well. We have a faster Twilight Council, faster Blink as a result, and potentially a faster third base. So Rodzen, he's going to try to catch up in other ways.
Yeah, definitely looks that way. Like Rodzen is building up, and at the same time, he is moving out of his Stalkers. It looks like he does not want to stop the pressure on Papi, and I mean, he has been keeping Papi on his side of the map, so at least he has achieved that.
Yeah, exactly. He has been able to achieve that at least. The Observer from Papi does confirm the move out, as well as the third Nexus timing, so he's aware of the more economic stance that Rodzen is trying to take. So Papi's going to be feeling pretty solid so far. We have the Oracles once again threatening a dive, but Papi always just keeping Stalkers in position.
Oh. Yeah, that he is. And oh, the Stalkers are moving right into the natural base. The Oracle gets sniped, but so is the Stalker of Papi, and recall. Yeah, probably not ideal, as Rodzen did lose quite a few units, but I mean, he tried.
He did. There was a lot of potential. I thought the dive was really bold, really brave, and I was expecting a little bit more to happen. He killed 1 Stalker, and he lost a Stalker and an Oracle of his own, so suddenly he's in a much more difficult position here. The Adepts do get in. They're getting more damage done though.
They are sniping a few probes, and they're going straight into the main base, getting 4 probes in total, but it looks like they will be cleaned up.
Yeah, but just like that, Rodzen, he finally takes an economic lead for the first time this game. His third base is getting up and running, and yeah, that's finally the damage that he has been looking for.
Yeah, it looks like it won't stop as the Stalkers once again moving across the map. There is an Immortal, there are sentries as well, but we'll see if maybe Rodzen can get something done. I mean, all the army is at the third base.
Yeah, the problem is that Papi's had a better economy for longer, so that's translated into a larger army. Papi's up in Immortals, he's up in Stalkers, he's now even in upgrades with Blink, he's working on +1 with a faster Forge. Rodzen is going to threaten a dive, he does pick up a sentry, but again, he cannot fight this head on.
Yeah, definitely not. He will just try to dance with the army, see what he can do, and at the same time, he's taking a 4.
Fourth base is on the way, so he's going to try to get a little bit further ahead economically. Papi has retaken his worker lead, so Rosin has stripped that away for a moment, but only for a moment, and now Papi's getting ready for his push. +1 charge. Prism is on the way as well. Papi is soon going to be moving out.
Yeah, Rosin is trying to keep an eye on the army, trying to keep it distracted, but he can only do it for so long, as it will move across the map soon.
Ooh, as he moves out though, Rodzin is coming in for a counterattack, going to be slipping in between the bases, working towards that. Naturally, we do have some warpins available though. We will warp in defensively, but it's taking a little bit too long. Probes are going down.
Yeah, probes will be going down. The Stalkers moving to the main base as well, and also those are few Stalkers that are not in the attack of Papi. But there's a lot of forces in that attack. There is the Sentry, there is the Immortal, and there's not that much defense from Rodzin.
Rodzin out of position, but he catches the Prism. He almost does catch the Prism. Meanwhile, we try to get a full surround going on. Zealots from the right-hand side, Stalkers from the left. Shield Battery does go down to the natural, and can Papi take this fight?
He is surrounding the forces, but I don't think the surround is enough. The Immortal was still alive and was still giving damage. Now the Zealots are reinforcing the army of Papi, and I think he still has enough.
Yeah, he takes down 11 workers. Big warp in the Prism survived. I thought it was going to get sniped. I thought it was going to be going down, but no, it does make it out. GG gets called, and Papi does take game number 1.
I always say though, the funniest moment of this game was that War Prince flying straight into the Stalkers. Whoop! No, never mind. My bad. like the reaction was so crisp. I love it.
I mean, that was almost a really big moment for Rodzin. Rodzin was almost able to dive on that, and if he was able to snipe the Prism, then no more reinforcements, then maybe he can hold on, but yeah, somehow that Prism survived.
Yeah. No, literally, if the Prism would go down, like, Rodzin would probably hold this, because I mean, Papi lost the Immortal, he lost the Sentries, it was just the Stalkers, and then the reinforcing Zealots came in. So I feel like if the War Priest went down, like, probably Rodzin would win that fight.
Oh yeah, could have been a very different outcome, and then he would have survived with a 4th base. You know, he would have been up in bases in general, and it could have been a different outcome. But regardless, in the end, Papi does take the first game here. We're getting into game 2, and a big shout out to Air Orange. Oh my god, one of the longtime supporters of the channel, subscribing for 25 months. Thank you, Papi. Thank you.
25.
Wow.
It's more than 2 years.
That's over 2. That's math.
Oh no, math on stream. That's illegal. But anyway, yeah, I see that we fixed some mistakes from the previous game, and Light will get to that in a moment. But first, on the bottom left corner of Hecate, Ellie, it is our blue Protoss Polish player, representing Berserker Esports. It's Papi.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the purple Polish Protoss player, representing the Platinum Heroes, now playing the correct color. It is Rodzin.
I feel like it only adds to it that it's Platinum Heroes as well.
Oh yeah.
All the peaks.
Exactly. Rodzin, he's full of P right now, and with that, I mean, that's what he's been missing. That's what he needs.
Oh my god. What you guys don't see is how happy Light is with every line like this. He's so proud of himself.
What do you mean? I don't understand what you're talking about.
No, nothing.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, we have show the boop. Show the boop.
Oh.
There was a boop. Yay.
Do you think that hurts? Like, they're like these big mechanical like constructions, you know? They're
No, they're very gentle. So
they?
they look just like whoop, and then they go away.
That boop looked violent. I don't know if you saw. That was a hard boop.
I mean, look.
I could hear the thunk.
Someone edited that with like a metallic thunk.
Yeah, I could see the loud metallic thunk there when they like smashed their heads against each other. That was.
Look, props are built for this, okay?
They're built
they're fine.
Yeah.
Yes, they are built different, actually.
Here we go. We're getting into our openers, and it is going to be double gate once again. This time, both players have chosen to go death.
Oh, okay. So we're gonna have some aggression on the way, but I I feel like this will be very similar to Christiane and Art in the sense that probably both players will meet each other in the middle of the map and then things will just get chaotic.
Well, we'll see because both players have chosen violence. It isn't just double adept. We have 2 more adepts here from Rodzen, and Papi, he's actually cancels the adepts. He's going into stalkers.
Yeah, he saw the adepts of Rodzen and he's trying to snipe them down. One of them is very low, but so is Papi's.
Oh my god. With that, in the midst of that chaos, one adept went down, Rodzen's adept went down, and Papi does keep both of his alive. So a good trade so far from Papi. We have stalkers on the way, which again, in a head-to-head fight, they will trade better. The adept will commit to the shade. We will kill one probe on the low ground, but the stalkers have arrived.
Yeah, the stalkers have arrived to clean up the adept. At the same time, the adepts of Papi are being cleaned up on the other side of the map by other adepts, so I guess none of the players is really getting damage done.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Papi did trade a little bit better in the end. He lost 1 adept, but he killed 2. But we're continuing. We are continuing adept production.
Okay. We're having the Robo is on the way as well, so I guess we will be getting a War Priest, so fair even more adepts across the map.
Yeah, it should be for that Prism to be able to bypass the wall and get across the map. In total, we have 6 adepts here for Rodzen. He's pushing out across the map. With 6 adepts, even a War Prism here to block will not be enough. You can DPS it down and you can try to break your way into the base itself. So Papi has to be very careful here because he has no idea how committed Rodzen is.
Yeah, he has no idea, and he is working on his tech right now. He actually sees the adepts, he just pulls the probes, okay?
He panicked for a little bit there, pulling some of those workers, going to be main-arting that natural base. The adepts, they do see the lack of saturation for now, and we shouldn't be committed, also we should be committing to the shade as we get 1 probe.
Yeah, it looks like Rodzen will be careful with these adepts, but it also means that they are not getting damage done. And I mean, Papi is now aware of what is going on, and I'm sure he will be working on his army.
Yeah, and with that, he's going for a Twilight Council, starting a Blink as well. Again, Stalkers in a head-to-head fight are superior than Adepts. Adepts are designed to harass, Stalkers are designed to fight head-on here, and you can see that Rodzen's being bullied back. He needs to trade, he needs to get some kind of economic damage done to make this worth it.
Yeah, it looks like the adepts are starting to fall. The 2 stalkers are chasing them down, and it's enough, apparently.
Oh, it is enough. There's 3 adepts remaining here. They will manage to escape behind this. We're doubling down. Went behind Darkshine.
I mean, anytime, Darkshine.
Yeah. Anytime. As we are still continuing the harassment here, 3 adepts, they still threaten this shade, and they will commit.
Yeah, I mean, 2 adepts still one-shot workers, I believe. So, I mean, do they? They do, right?
Yeah, 2.
The
2
Glaveless adepts still do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so they will still take down 3 probes, and Blink is about to be done for Papi, so now these stalkers will be that much more effective at chasing, but we'll see if maybe Rodzen can distract Papi and like attack at 2 places at once. I mean, he has access to those adepts, he has the War Priest now coming to the main base, so maybe he can get something done.
Yeah, there's potential here. Unfortunately, Observer does start up. I was going to say that we're probably waiting for Dark Templar, so DTs into the main base, but there will be detection available. Stalkers are pushing across the map. They have found the army. There's not much to defend here back at home. We do have a shield, but we do have an overcharge.
Yeah, I think Rodzen was a bit too focused on the harassment and actually did not prepare great defense, but I mean, the Immortal is still something to be respected, so Papi will be careful about how he approaches this.
He will be careful. The force fields were a little bit premature, but here we go. We have 2 DTs heading towards that main base. At the same time, we have the Prism drop into the main as well, so we have DTs looking to hit every base at the same time, and so far, have we noticed we do have detection?
Yeah, we have an Observer, and the DTs in the natural will be spotted and defended, but it looks like the one in the main is still there maybe, but the probes were evacuated. At the same time, Papi tries to break the defense of Rodzen, but actually he is a bit too late, and Rodzen has 2 Immortals now. Yeah,
Rodzen, he does hold. Meanwhile, DTs are still wreaking havoc. They catch probes here at the 3rd base. 8 workers go down, and we're going to be recalling back home, recalling the, I believe, Observer back home as well. A bit of an overreaction. We already had an Observer here, so a lot of chaos is ensuing, and suddenly, Rodzen, he's able to even up that worker count.
Yeah, I mean, the adepts are coming into the base of Rodzen, but they're not really able to get much damage. 3 probes do fall, but in the end, I mean, it's not too bad, but Rodzen is not in the lead, though, in the workers. He's still a bit behind.
I mean, he still doesn't have a third base. You know, Bobby, he's up in workers. He has a better economy. He has a third base up and running. He does have the supply lead as well because of the better economy. And what Rodzen did was okay, but it still just wasn't enough to equalize.
Yeah, exactly. Like it was a good damage, but not quite enough. That warp is still alive, so it still poses a threat. But right now, I don't think Rodzen can really do much with that. He has those two immortals, and I guess maybe he can do something with that, but I think he just wants to be defensive for now.
Yeah, he's kind of stuck at home for the time being. As you mentioned, he does have the immortal lead, which can help. Now he's working towards the Forge, +1, his own Blink, but Papi, he's just getting further ahead tech-wise. He's already got +1 on the way. He's already got Charge on the way, alongside a massive Gateway Explosion. And at the moment, Papi, or the supplies are looking similar, but that is soon about to change once these gateways kick in.
Oh yeah, definitely. That is a lot of gates. At the same time, though, Rodzen is going around the map. He is trying to maybe find the army of Papi or maybe go straight around it. And we'll see if he can, as he actually may be able to rotate over.
Yeah, we can see Rodzen the first to take a fourth base. He does get eyes on the fourth base of his opponent. He's going to try to force a cancel, and Papi's out of position.
Oh. Yeah, he is. Not far away, but enough to get that base cancelled. And that is a small victory for Rodzen, as you said, his base is already on the way. Meanwhile, Papi has to remake his.
Yeah, he has to remake it. So the Warp Prism is still going to be threatening a dive. We haven't committed yet, but it's still in position for whenever we do need that. So as you mentioned, like a nice little win here for Papi, for Rodzen, but Papi is going to be pushing now with the Warp Prism, and now he's going to be committing.
Yeah, he has his own immortals now as well, and the upgrades are on the way, so that is a nice window for Papi, but we'll see how he is gonna use it. Rodzen is trying to circle between his bases. He's trying to make sure that he's not out of position at any moment, but we'll just see.
Yeah, the downside here is that Papi, like, army quality-wise is just better with Charge or Archon. He has a lot of Zealots here to buffer and to just be a kind of a buffer zone for the rest of his army. He's got Archons to counteract the Zealots of his opponent. Rodzen is relying quite heavily here on a purely Stalker-based composition. He's pushing out again. He's looking to deny the fourth base for a second time if possible.
Yeah, he wants to snipe that base, but I don't think he quite has enough this time. This time Papi was close enough, and he will be able to fend off the Stalkers. At the time, right now, they are even of upgrades, so that's nice for Rodzen, but soon enough, Papi will get his second upgrade on.
Yeah, and he does pull back with that Prism, does keep it alive just in time as well. And you can see that Papi, he's looking to push across the map, looking to snowball out of control. We do have a defensive line, though. We have shield batteries, overcharge, and a lot of Zealots have been warped in.
Yeah, I think Papi may be just waiting for the upgrade, because the second upgrade will be soon, but I'm just a little worried that if he waits a bit too long, maybe Rodzen does like make the defense and actually will be more difficult to attack into him. But I think right now Papi has enough of an advantage that he's not really worried about that.
Yeah, we'll see how we engage here. Looking at the army sizes here, I mean, we have pretty similar Zealot counts. We have the same Immortal count. We have Papi ahead slightly in Archons. It's going to be a close fight. As you mentioned, though, +1 is going to finish up in 5 seconds. Now we can push in.
Yeah, the Zealots are fighting each other, and looks like right now we have that upgrade finished, so now the fight should be in favor of Papi, but he is trying to find a good position. He's trying to go all the way up.
Yeah, he does outposition Rodzen. He has the better concave, he has the better engagement. The Archons are going ham on these Zealots as well. The Zealots of Rodzen are melting.
Yeah, so they are. The Archons are still alive for Papi as well, and so are the Immortals, and they're chewing right through Rodzen's army. Yeah. There is a reinforcement warping, but I don't think it's enough right now.
Exactly. Papi taking an amazing engagement there again. He just was able to go to town on those Zealots. He had a really good arc with those Archons as well, and now he's breaking into the natural, and the supply at this stage does not lie here. Rodzen's going to try to come in from behind with Zealots and some Immortals, but again, he just doesn't have enough.
I mean, the Zealots will go through the army of Papi. They will take down an Archon as well as an Immortal, but it's not enough, and there are reinforcements from Papi as well.
Yeah, there are reinforcements on the way. The Zealots go down. We focus on the Prism as well. We need one more blink. GG gets called, and Papi will take the series 2-0.
GG. So 1 second.
GG, well played. Bobby will advance on to the grand finals over his opponent. Congratulations. My condolences to Rodzen, but he did very well for himself making it this far. Again, he had a very powerful performance earlier against Aristory, so very well done to Rodzen, but does meet his end in the end here. And Bobby makes it to the finals 2 weeks in a row. Last week, Bobby went to the finals against a laser and did get taken out. But now he's in a PvP against Cristiano, and we'll see who's able to come out on top here, because regardless of the victor, we're going to have a new champion, as both Bobby and Cristiano, neither of them have actually won a House Open Cup before. So we will crown a new champion. We just need a moment here to actually set things up and get things going. Exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the bracket yourselves, to actually have a look at the road that these players have been walking. And again, it's been a pretty intense road, a pretty large, or a pretty intense road for our players here, working through quite a lot of big names in Poland, and working through a lot of PvPs as well. A lot of those PvPs, but it comes down to Papi, it comes down to Cristiano. This is it, a best of 5. Vetoes are currently underway, and as a result, we're going to be going on a short break. We're going to be going on a short break here. When we return, we will have the grand finals. We'll be able to crown a new House Open champion. See you soon. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Quite a short break, actually, in between series. They were so quick to finish up their vetoes, and now we are diving into the grand finals of House Open Cup number 6.
Yeah, and what better way to finish a Polish tournament than a PvP?
Exactly. Polish versus Polish. We have Cristiano versus Papi coming at you in a PvP.
Yeah, and we are now on Oceanborn. In the placer, it is Cristiano.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the blue Polish Protoss player representing Berserker Esports. It is Papi. And if you're in the chat, predictions are open for the next minute or so. Place your bets on who you think is going to be this week's champion. Is it going to be Cristiano or is it going to be Papi? Who will win this event for the first time? For the very first time.
Papi hasn't won it, yeah. He has been in the finals, but he didn't win it yet.
Yeah, he's gotten second place twice.
Yeah. I mean, he's close. He's close, but he still has to beat Cristiano to be the champion. And I mean, Cristiano is not an easy opponent.
Yeah, and especially, like, Cristiano has been on fire recently. He is our most recent ESL Open Cup Europe champion. Did win the European Weekly for ESL Open Cup. As well as the fact that this is his first time in the finals. He's never made it this far before.
Oh, true. Yeah, in the House Open Cup, he has not been in the finals. He has been placing decently high, but I mean, there are a lot of players in Poland, and I mean, there's always like a lot of close games in the earlier rounds, so Cristiano wasn't quite able to reach the top.
Yeah, he usually runs into like Spirit or Geralt or a Laser really early on, and he has some good matches, but You know, that's typically the caliber of player that knocks him down before he can make it to the finals. He's a finals caliber player, but, you know, a little bit unlucky when it comes to some of the seeding and when it comes to some of the earlier rounds. But this could be his week.
It definitely could. As you said, he did win the ESL Open Cup Europe, so I mean, he's definitely in shape. He's in form, but we'll see if that's enough to beat Papi today.
Yeah, exactly, because he is Papi.
He is Papi. I mean, we bring him up all the time.
All the time.
For some reason.
Yeah, big fan.
I cannot say Papi any different than you now. It's just, there's only one way to pronounce it.
How else would you pronounce it?
it?
What are you talking about? What do you mean?
I don't know. I have no idea.
How
It's
do you-
not possible in my brain anymore.
I was gonna say, how do you say it in Polish? How would you say Papi in like this word?
I mean,
in
you say it the
Polish?
same way, but you have this specific accent about it when you say it.
Okay. Yeah. Here we go. For now, we're going to be opening up double Stalker into double Sentry for Papi. Meanwhile, we have, I believe, one Sentry for Cristiano. So, Cristiano, he's basically cutting a unit here. He's going to be preserving a Warp in favor of faster tech, a slightly faster Twilight Count.
Indeed, but it's not that far off. Like Papi's Twilight Council is right behind, so it doesn't look like there will be like huge differences in this game. We just have to see what our players are planning next, though.
Yeah, so far they're both kind of mirroring each other. Very similar outlooks here. Again, the only big deviations is that Cristiano saved resources by only making one Sentry, you know, by getting to slightly faster Blink. As you can see, Blink has started up, but as you mentioned, we're only a couple seconds behind from Papi.
I don't even know if it's seconds. It's like maybe 1.5.
Yeah.
So in the end, like the builds did come out quite close to each other. We do have a scout from Cristiano, so he's aware of what Papi is up to. I don't know if Papi's scout is coming as well, so both players know what they're doing, and both players are doing very similar thing.
Yeah, so far this is a very high collar, very, you know, respectable PvP, you know, a bit of a gentleman's agreement.
Yeah, I just imagine it's like classical gentlemen in like top hats and like,
Yes.
you know, with their glasses, just like with the mustache as well. Just like, yes, hello, sir.
Ah, that's where Geralt's mustache went.
Oh, oh. Oh.
He's not a gentleman anymore. He's an animal. Ah, okay. So, yeah, again, it's been very passive. You know, we're getting into our third bases. Both players are, so very passive here. Nothing out of the norm. There's no big gateway explosion. There's no fast, like, Stargate or Robo. Everyone is just chilling. Everyone is just macroing.
Yeah, both players even taking the third bases, both players continuing to scout each other, and yet no major differences, like maybe a different timing on a pylon here and there, but overall, like, these builds are very similar, even going for the two adepts around the same time.
Yeah, adepts are on the way. We do see our first big deviation, and that is Cristiano moving out with his main army, but we are in position here, and we shouldn't really be losing too much. Maybe Cristiano can snipe the shield battery.
Yeah, he will be able to do so, but that's about it, as the army of Papi is here. He does snipe the sentry, though.
They'll snipe the sentry at the same time. Adepts, they head towards that natural base, and we're pulling Papi apart right now as we're getting even more damage on with their stalkers.
Yeah, Papi is being a bit just pulled apart between the bases. At the same time, he's trying to sneak into the base of Cristiano, and there is nothing to stop him.
Oh, exactly. He may have lost 3 probes back at home, but across the map, Papi is also getting a lot of damage done. He's getting up to 5, soon to be 6 workers as well. He can shade towards the natural base, but not before losing one of those adepts.
Yeah, in total, we have 6 probes going down on Cristiano's side of the map. Was it an even trade? Maybe, maybe not, but I mean, Papi did get some damage done. He did get into the main base, and he did cause the Cristiano to recall his army.
Yeah, with that, Cristiano, he's slightly behind in the economy, but as you pointed out, he was able to snipe the sentries. The sentries of Papi all went down. He also lost a shield battery as well, so he didn't go by unscathed. And without that sentry, he has that much less to scout. Cristiano should be going for hallucination soon, just to make sure he can read his opponent. Meanwhile, Papi is going to be a little bit more in the dark.
Anyway, I like how Papi had his sentries in the army, but Cristiano's sentry is just chilling on the cliff.
Yeah.
Just, you know, just having a time, just watching the probes as they mine.
Yeah, it's making sure they're working. He's there overseeing.
I mean, obviously. Yes.
As the fourth base is going to be on the way here for Cristiano, we do see Papi taking up a little bit further. Both players are working towards charge and +1. Yeah, that's the same for both players. Papi is going to be the first to take up into a Templar Archive, so he will have access to faster Archons.
Yeah, and Archons definitely did go well in the previous series for Papi, so they may be useful here as well, but we'll see how that goes. As I mean, both players have decently sized armies, and it looks like Cristiano once again wants to go aggressive.
Yeah, he's moving out with only the Stalkers. He's keeping that 1 sentry back at home again, just to make sure he keeps an eye on the economy. But he's going to be moving out here, going to try to pick off whatever he can. His Observer is going to be sniped, but he does head towards that fourth.
Yeah, it looks like the fourth may have to be cancelled, but the army of Papi is here, and actually it looks like he will be able to stop it.
Yeah, Papi is in position. He takes down 1, takes down 2 Stalkers, 3 Stalkers as well. Pretty good pickups. At the same time, Cristiano slipping into the natural base here with some charge lots.
Yeah, Cristiano is doing really well on pulling apart the attention of Papi. The probes have to just run away to the main base, but there's even more warpings there.
Oh my god, a massive warp in here into the main base. That's an Artosis pylon as well. It's gonna go down.
So many gates are now unpowered, so there are almost no reinforcements for Papi. At the same time, he is fighting the army of Cristiano, and once again, he's just pulled between his bases.
Yeah, that's going to be 8+ workers going down. Nice hold position micro here in the mineral line. We do recall back home. At the same time, Cristiano, with this army, I believe, did get a kill on the fourth base.
Ooh. Yeah, it does look like that was a kill. It is in the units of stab, and Cristiano getting some really good damage across the map. He got the base, he got a lot of workers, and the aggression has not stopped yet.
Yeah, and now he's pushing out once again. And now, is this a bit of an overextension? We shall see, as Papi is also pushing out. We could try to go for a pseudo base trade. As Cristiano, he's going for the fourth, and Papi, he ignores it. He's going right down the middle.
I think we're base trading again. I think this is this type of day where Cristiano just goes for base trades every series.
Yeah, here we go. We have Zealots reinforcing here at the natural base. The Immortal comes out. It's going to be focused on immediately. And Cristiano's already pushing towards the main. Likewise, so is Papi. Again, we have to take control of the production. We have to take control of the main.
Yeah, he's trying to snipe the pylons, but Cristiano has many more pylons at his production, so it won't be so easy. We have 2 pylons at Papi's production as well, but yeah, both players will be sniping each other soon.
Yeah, exactly. The production is soon to be running out. We do have +2 on the way. It's barely denied here. Oh my god, 4 seconds from finishing +2 will not complete for Cristiano. He's trying to repower it.
He's trying to, but the Papi won't let him. He's sniping every pylon he can see.
Sniping every pylon, but again, we're coming to the base trade at the same time. We do find another base. Cristiano, he's expanded here towards the left-hand side. He still hasn't evacuated with too many workers, though. He has to be careful because Papi, he has another base.
Yeah, Papi has another base, but is very close to the current base of Cristiano, so a bit of a risky move, but at the same time they say that, you know, that's the less obvious place to look for.
Yeah, exactly.
So maybe he's safe.
Yeah, Papi's got the 1 Nexus, meanwhile Cristiano has bottom left as well, so both players have hidden bases, but the armies are about to clash, and Papi, he has a lot of supply that's still in the main base of Cristiano.
Yeah, but also he has a lot of bulky units here. He has the Archons, he has the Immortals, the Zealots on the front. The Stalkers now joining the fight as well, and it's just Stalkers from Cristiano.
Just Stalkers. He's fanning out his Zealots. He's looking for the base. He's looking for the hidden Nexus here of his opponent. Stalkers are getting picked up. These are some brutal losses here for Cristiano. He can't afford to lose units like this.
Yeah, I think he's overextending a little bit. I don't think he should be like losing Stalkers like that. He keeps engaging with the army, but I think Papi just has it too much for the straight-up engagement.
Exactly, especially with all these Zealots peeled off. And again, he still has not found this base. Meanwhile, at the same time, Papi, he is stumbling across the final base of Cristiano.
Yeah, Cristiano is actually going around the base of Papi. Like, the Zealots checked every place except the single base where the Nexus is, and another base of Cristiano is going down. The army is trying to stop Papi, but I mean, they're just going down.
And here we go, 1 final fight. 1 Archon goes down. Big pick-off already here. Another Archon is going to be under threat with the Zealots coming first round. And it looks like Cristiano, does he barely have enough? It looks like he might.
Yeah, the Zealots came in clutch and they took down most of the army, and it looks like just barely barely. Maybe Papi will take this, but the Zealots are still alive.
Yeah, the Zealots are still alive again. The Archons got picked up very early on. Cristiano has 0 probes left, by the way. 0 probes remaining here for Cristiano. He has no economy. He has nothing. We have production. Papi, he's warping in more waves of units. Can he somehow hold on? If we can get a shield battery up and running, then maybe. Meanwhile, Cristiano, he still doesn't know where the base is.
I mean, to be fair, this is 3 Stalkers and 3 Zealots against an Immortal and 2 Stalkers and a War Priest. I think Papi can take this.
He cannot take it, but he does focus down one of those Stalkers again. We can micro. Oh, we do save the Immortal.
Oh my god, the Immortal was so close, but it looks like it will be alive for a little bit longer. The reinforcements from Cristiano are coming in. The probes have to fight. They are forced off the line and everything is thrown on the line.
Yeah, exactly. The boys are being pulled against Zealots. A lot of probes are going to be going down here, but we will barely be able to clean up these Zealots. And Cristiano, he's running out of units. He is down to 2 Stalkers left.
I mean, as long as any probe stands, it's still more than Cristiano has. And Papi will take the game number 1.
GG. It came down to the wire. It came down to the boys being pulled. Papi barely held on. He cleaned up the army. And Papi does barely take that game. GG.
And again, it seems like it's one of these days where, like, just, you know, we go for base trades and they just end extremely close.
I mean, that was very close. That could have gone in any direction there. If only Cristiano had maybe found that base a little bit sooner. If he had found it a little bit sooner, then maybe he could have been able to deal with that economy and those workers sooner as well. It came down to the last units, the final units here for both players.
I mean, again, Cristiano did send out his Zealots, but like they missed the base a few times, and if the Zealots ended up in the base, like this could have ended very quickly for Papi.
Could have. It very much so could have. Papi does take a lead in the series, but again, could have gone either direction, could have gone either way. I'm looking forward to a more back and forth finals.
Yes, indeed, and we will be seeing game number 2 now. We're loaded into hard lead. And we are looking at our red Protoss player representing Team Blazer. It is Cristiano.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the blue Protoss player representing Berserker Esports, leading the series 1-0, but it's a best of 5, plenty more games ahead of us. It is Papi.
You know what's missing from this week's tournament?
What?
Proxies. We have no Geralt.
We have no proxy Stargate. True, true. Yeah, I mean, so far tonight we have had aggression, but we haven't had any proxies yet in these PvPs, which is odd. We've had some fake proxy pylons, but no real proxy pylons.
Yeah, I mean, again, there's no Geralt. Geralt would proxy every game.
Yeah,
you know that.
100%.
So I guess when he's gone, like, so are all the proxies.
True, true. But hopefully we can get him back here. I'm sure we'll get one proxy at some point in this series. In a PvP, in a best of 5, has to happen at some point, right?
I mean, I don't know. I'm afraid that there will be not a single one.
I hope not. Hope not. We'll see. We'll hold our breath here a little bit. As for now, we are going to be getting into this, and it's going to be a 2-gate opener from both players. Both pylons are in each other's bases, so no proxy to begin with. And we're waiting for our first units of choice once the cyber cores finish up.
Yes, indeed. And will we see adepts this time? On one side.
There we go. Yeah, last game we had double adepts. Oh, sorry, we had pretty mirrored builds from both players. It was double Stalker into sentries. Here, Cristiano is going to be a little bit more aggressive.
I feel like in general, Cristiano is a bit more aggressive player compared to most of the Protosses that we've seen today. Obviously, he's not Geralt. He doesn't proxy, but like just in terms of like, you know, more macro aggression, he seems to be generally the one initiating the fights.
Yeah, it's one of those things where we should also emphasize, because I know that things got really chaotic last game and it went down to a base trade. But leading into the base trade, Cristiano was ahead. He was winning. Like, he was straight up outplaying Papi. He was pulling him apart. He was killing workers, sniping bases left and right. And Papi was having a really hard time keeping up. It just, came down to the base trade. And in that chaos, Papi was able to come out ahead. But yeah, I'm sure Cristiano, he's aware that he's maybe a faster player, that maybe he's able to pull apart his opponent. Again, some of that play.
That reminds me, I actually don't know how old Papi is. Because I know Cristiano is the fairly young player, but I don't know about Papi.
I think Papi is not a Papi. I don't think he's that old.
No, he's not that old.
But I do think he's
Or
in his...
maybe.
I'm pretty sure he's in his 20s. Like, he's not as young as Cristiano, but he's not, like, overly old.
Overly old. Thank you very much, guys. That's how I'm gonna introduce myself. Hello, I'm overly old.
I just checked. He was born in 2004. He's 19.
Oh my god.
Hopefully he's
All
not a
these
Papi.
I mean, technically he could be.
Could be. Aye. Wait, does that mean he's younger than Cristiano then, right?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I think so. I think
'Cause I always-
Cristiano's like 20.
No, I don't think he's 20 yet, is he?
I'm checking.
Hold on,
They're the same. They were both born in 2004.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Okay, I'm not crazy yet. Because I know that Cristiano was like a teenager.
Yeah, Cristiano's going for one base all-in, by the way.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And it's Stalkers, of course.
Yeah, so we do have a one base all-in here. It's going to be 3 gates Stalkers, vanilla Stalkers, not Blink, but they have pseudo Blink with the Prism. Meanwhile, Papi has recognized this. He did confirm the all-in was coming. He's going to be defending 3 shield batteries are done. Overcharge is going to be available as well.
Yeah, 3 shield batteries look pretty strong together with all those sentries with the Immortal, but the main base is not quite as protected, and Cristiano will try to use that fact.
Yeah, exactly. He does bypass the main army, goes straight for the mineral line. He's looking for some economic damage here, but we do have some defensive warpings. We do have Papi coming in as well to defend.
Yeah, there was some very fancy micro with the Stalkers, but it's not quite enough. Only 2 probes falling so far, and it looks like Papi will be holding the main base. At the same time, Cristiano does not decide to attack the front.
Yeah, I mean, we can't break the front. Like, with 3 shield batteries,
No.
force fields, and an immortal as well, Papi will take the fight, and Cristiano, he is transitioning. The all-in has not worked, and he's going to take a risk here, because straight up Cristiano is behind, so he's going for Robotics Bay.
That's interesting. I mean, to be fair, important part is Papi will now counterattack. He is not sitting in his base. He will try to see what he can do on the other side of the map, or at least he is waiting to see if Cristiano is coming once again.
Yeah, big.
But if Papi attacks, yeah.
Yeah, big scout here. The hallucination does come in, does confirm that the Robotics Bay has been thrown down, does confirm that the army is back at home, the Prism is back at home, and he is now aware of the Disruptor. Now, being aware isn't going to be enough here, because Cristiano, despite being behind, he can take a fight. He can take an amazing fight if he connects with this Nova.
Ooh. Yeah, the Disruptor is already out, and he will try to get a nice Nova on the army of Papi, but so far, no luck. Papi is very careful. He's making sure to not overextend, but at the same time, he's dropping the Immortals.
Yeah, he goes for an Immortal drop into the main base. 4 probes are going to be going down. We have an Epps to defend. Meanwhile, Cristiano, he is not turning back around. He's committing.
Oh my god, Immortals are so effective. 7 probes are falling down, but as you said, Cristiano is moving across the map. These Immortals will be very needed for the defense with all these Stalkers coming.
Yeah, we're going to have to recall back home, and how good are the Nova going to be? Prism goes down, by the way. Nova goes off.
Nova Ghost does take down 3 Stalkers, but that's all it does. Unfortunately, there's still more Stalkers from Cristiano, but with the shield batteries, Papi should be able to hold.
Yeah, we do have the overcharge as well. We have force fields being thrown down. We do have enough to launch on some of these Stalkers. There's that recall that we were waiting for. And it looks like Papi is going to be able to hold. He cripples the economy across the map, and he does survive and defend back at home.
Yeah, that recall fed a little bit late, but it was just enough to hold Cristiano up, and another Immortal did pop out. The Warpriest does fall down, so both players are out of Warpriest now.
Yeah, they do lose their Prisms in the end. Meanwhile, Cristiano is going to be reinforcing, but there...
Cristiano is asking, how did you know it was free gate? Papi says, I didn't know.
How did... I didn't know. I can translate that. I think he's laughing. I think... Oh, no! Oh, my God.
Ooh, entry. The Immortal just takes it, so he's like, oh.
Here we go. Cristiano is going to be committing here. Nova does go off, and with only one Nova, suddenly Papi's in a much... Again, he's been in this position, better position this entire time. He's saturated on 2 bases. He has a 3rd on the way. We do see, though, that we have been out of position here, and Cristiano, he goes for the 3rd.
Yeah, once again, Cristiano, when he sees the base undefended, he will try to snap it. Another Nova is coming off, and it will actually take down the Immortal.
Yeah, exactly. We can see how hard a time Papi's having here without that Warp Prism. We do have Adept's going to be threatening a Shade here back into that mineral line as well, and we just don't have the supply. Cristiano, he's getting damage done.
Yeah, the probes are actually going to fight, and 4 of them already falling down, and more will as well. But at the same time, Cristiano is moving back home. He won't be attacking more, at least not on the front.
Yeah, he backs off for the time being. We have 3 more Adepts on the way, and Papi, he needs to just have some units back at him to defend, to deflect these Adepts. Otherwise, he's just going to be pulled back again for a 2nd time as Papi's pushing, and he does spot the army. Oh, the blink!
Yeah, the Warp Priest gets sniped, and just like that, Papi takes game number 2.
GG, snipes the Disruptor, the end of the push, and yeah, he does take a 2-0 lead here in the finals.
I don't know if I want to call it lucky, but that snipe of the Disruptor was pretty lucky. He just happened to pass by the Disruptor. This was at the very end of the army of Cristiano.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Disruptor was very exposed. We saw that Cristiano was threatening an Adept on the left-hand side, but again, the Disruptor was the only thing keeping Cristiano in that game. It was the only chance he had at ever recovering with a good Nova, but he was shut down. And with that, Papi, he's 1 game away from becoming our new champion. One of us.
Yeah, and he has not done that so far. He has been in the finals twice, as you said, but he has not claimed the title. And maybe today is the day.
Yeah, today could be the day. Cristiano looking to fight back here again, risking it all in game 1, in game number 2, going for a base rate, going for an all-in, when maybe that wasn't really necessary. Maybe Cristiano a little bit overconfident. Like, remember, game 1, Cristiano was looking so strong in a more standard game. So are we going to go back to that here in game 3?
I mean, once again, it looks like Cristiano is always the aggressive one. Maybe he shouldn't. But then who will attack if nobody will? But anyway, we will leave that thought to the players as we are now on Hecate. That's an interesting accent. I haven't said it like that before. Where we are looking at the base of our red Protoss player. Representing Team Blazer, it is Cristiano.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the blue Protoss Polish player. Representing Berserker Esports, 1 game away from becoming this week's House Open Cup champion. For number 6, it is Papi.
And Knight, there are still no proxies.
Yeah, still no proxies. And again, I do feel like Cristiano should probably just calm things down a little bit. Like, just referring to what I mentioned, in a much more macro-oriented game, Cristiano was doing so much better in game 1, and maybe it's worth calming things down a little bit and trying to, ease into the mid game here. We'll see what kind of approach he has, because as you mentioned, at times Cristiano wants to be the aggressor. At times he wants to be in your face, and he may be tempted to commit.
Yeah, it definitely feels like that, where like he could play like the slow macro game, but it just feels better to just attack, I feel like he has it in him to as you said, like play a longer macro game, and he's definitely good at that. But we'll see if it comes to that, as we do have a proxy pile on the map.
Yeah, this is looking like a good location for a proxy Stargate. So we'll see if we do commit to that, so if we pull a bit of a Geralt. Meanwhile, Papi scouts, and he does confirm that the second pylon is missing. So he doesn't know if there's a proxy, but he knows that there's a pylon somewhere else.
Look at that, we have a proxy Stargate. Guys, there's a proxy in PvP.
There we go. We have finally a proxy here in game number 3, and I'm sure this is going to be in the back of Papi's mind. We'll see if he's able to respect it and respond to it, and if he goes for a safety shield battery in his main base. For now, going double stalker.
Yeah, I mean, Stalkers will definitely be helpful with defending the proxy Stargate. And we'll see how they do. Like, I want to see what Papi goes for next. He goes for sentries, which will definitely be helpful for the scouting. He may just be able to find that proxy after all.
Yeah, the sentries will help. Meanwhile, Cristiano is doubling down on the aggression, so he opened up double Adept. So he's going to have Adepts threatening one side, and he's going to have the Oracle threatening the other side. So he's looking for economic damage. As a result, though, it means that Cristiano, he's behind when it comes to the economy. It means that he has sacrificed his natural base timing, so he will have a very late expansion, but he's going to make up for it with probe kills. At least that's the hope.
Yeah. Papi made sure that he doesn't take that natural base too early, but now Papi has to be really careful about this attack because the attention maybe split. Ooh, actually misses the block.
Yeah, a little bit late with the block. We do throw down some force fields. It looks like one Adept is going to be going down, but probes are falling. And again, this is what Cristiano wanted. This is what he was hoping for, is to kill as many probes as possible.
5 are going down. Now the Oracle is here, but the Adepts are already down, so I don't think the Oracle can get much damage after all.
Yeah, but 5 worker kills and the Oracle is still alive. We have a second Oracle on the way, and of course 2 Oracles do one-shot workers, so there's going to be another big power spike available for Cristiano. Again, his expansion may be late, but Cristiano is now ahead in workers.
Yeah, and there's still no shield battery, so Papi is just forced to have his units hack the probes, make sure that they are okay. This Oracle is starting to take damage, but the second one just flies in.
Yeah, we get another 2 worker kills. We take a lot of damage. The Oracle goes down. That was not worth it for Cristiano. 2 probes for an Oracle. Ay, ay, ay.
Yeah, I guess he dived a little bit too aggressively, stayed a little bit too long, and the Oracle goes down. The second one is still sharking about, keeping Papi's army on this side of the map. Oh, just trying to slip by.
Yeah, it's trying to find a way in here. There's still potential for damage. I mean, Cristiano still has an economic lead. Again, that second Oracle wasn't really worth it, but the first one is getting damage done here as both players are transitioning into Blink Stalkers.
Yeah, so I guess we will be going into Blink Stalkers versus Blink Stalkers in the end. That Oracle will definitely be a great asset for Cristiano, as at the very least it is able to scout and even sniping a probe here and there.
We're getting even more value here. Again, Cristiano maintaining his worker lead overall, and with that he's also just keeping his opponent back at home as well. The Stalkers cannot move out, because if they ever try to, I mean, then he's going to be losing probes.
Yeah, so forcing Papi to stay defensive. It looks like Papi is going for a bit of a proxy of his own.
Yeah, this is looking like 2-base play. We have a 3rd gateway on the way, which means we're most likely going to be proxying the 4th gateway. It's going to be a 2-gate, 4-gate blink all in here from Papi, while Cristiano takes a 3rd.
Yeah, and the Stalkers are already moving out. The Oracle is actually back in the base, so it's not able to quite spot this. But there will be Stasis Wards present.
There are Stasis Wards. We do have the Oracle getting a scout off. We do come across the army, but it does walk into its death. But at least Cristiano is now aware of what's going on. He does have a shield battery on the way, additional warpins. There is a stasis trap behind this as well. Papi does get eyes on the 3rd. He's pushing in.
Yeah, Papi has to go now. He does cancel the shield battery, and he is sniping the Stalkers actually, but they are pulling. Cristiano is trying to pull him into the stasis.
Yeah, he's trying to pull him back here. Good force field does pick up a couple of these Stalkers, and again, Papi is just staying here, maintaining this position at the 3rd base. Good force fields once again, but Blink is done.
Yeah, and one of the sentries did go down as well, so only one sentry, quite low on energy as well, so not a lot of support for these Stalkers anymore. But at the same time, the armies are pretty close in size.
They are close inside. We do see Cristiano going for a counterattack, taking a 3rd base. Bold move to go for a counterattack at the same time. Meanwhile, Papi, he's coming back home while he tries to take his own 3rd. Oh.
Yeah, I think he was trying to see if Cristiano is around, but he didn't quite commit to that. Instead, he will walk straight into the stasis.
He's barely going to avoid it.
Oh my
Barely
God.
avoids the stasis. Now we're going into a base trade. We do see Cristiano in the natural. At the same time, Papi also in the natural base of Cristiano as well. Dark Shrine is on the way, but I don't think that's going to finish. Oh.
Yeah, I don't think it's... I mean, actually, where is the Dark Shrine?
It's in the main, and it was spotted, but I don't know if Cristiano really clicked on it. Meanwhile, we are pushing into the main base of his opponent. Cristiano, he does find the 3rd.
Yeah, I think Cristiano was a little bit distracted. Maybe he did spot the action, but definitely didn't stop it from coming back. Instead, he is recalling back home, but he will be losing these Stalkers. The probes are trying to help, but this is still a lot of army from Papi.
Yes, yeah, Cristiano is losing too much. Papi, he has the bigger army as well. Going to be able to kite back, able to... Oh, a bit of miscontrol. Does focus out those rocks for a moment, and the stasis trap may be able to come into play.
only 2 Stalkers, but that's still 2 Stalkers that are not part of Papi's army, and Cristiano is able to push this back, but not without a lot of losses.
Yeah, and it looks like we are going to be able to shut down this proxy gateway. Cristiano, he still kept his 3rd base alive as well. Likewise, we have 3 base versus 3 base. Papi, he is ahead in workers. He is slightly behind when it comes to no. He's also ahead in army. Papi, he comes out better after that base trade.
Yeah, that he did. Like, I mean, Cristiano lost a bit too many Stalkers. Like, in that recall, I feel like it wasn't like, it just didn't work out great for him because there was just so much army of Papi in the main base, and it looks like Papi is gonna try to keep the pressure up.
Yeah, and there's no detection. There's no robo. There is a Stargate for the Oracle, but it looks like Cristiano didn't click on that Dark Shrine. He's not ready for it, and the lone DT is waddling into the bases, and there's no way to deal with it.
Yeah, maybe he didn't click on it, or maybe he just didn't think that it would come to that and kind of forget about the fact. Regardless, this is GG, and Papi, for the first time, will be the House Open Cup champion.
GG, well played. Congratulations, Papi, as he is going to be, as you mentioned, for the first time, our new champion with a dominant performance here in the finals. I mean, game 1 was close. Game 1 was very close and was looking in favor of Cristiano. But in the end, Papi, he gets the 3-0.
Yeah. Great job by Papi. He did look amazingly strong in this tournament. Like, he has been improving a lot lately, and I am impressed.
Yeah, again, we've even seen Papi take maps off of a laser as well. So Papi looking strong, Papi becoming, of course, our first champion, the final champion of 2023 for the House Open Cups. And I believe Papi is looking to secure his position, to secure his invite for that offline event in January.
Oh yeah, definitely. He may be already invited. I don't know. I actually have to check how the rankings are currently looking.
Yeah, we'll have a look at those rankings. But yeah, it's a big win for Papi. Cristiano, again, like, I agree. There was some comments in the chat talking about how Cristiano's been looking really in form recently, and I agree, he has been. With the ESL Open Cup win, with the IM Katowice qualifiers as well, Cristiano has been in form. But PvP is a different beast. You know, PvP, it's a lot more chaotic. You know, we saw multiple base trades in this very series as well, and yeah, things can be quite difficult to keep up with. Things can just get, yeah, very chaotic.
Yeah, in general, mirror matchups tend to be like that, where like a small difference can really like decide the game, when like one bad engagement and it just kind of is the end of the game. And really, I think, I mean, the game was not going well, but I think the fact that Cristiano didn't spot the Dark Shrine really like completely ended it.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, like, even without spotting that, like,
yeah,
Papi was in a better position. Like, he had a better economy, he had a larger army. The DTs ended the game, but even if it wasn't for the DTs, like, he was in a better position there, and it would have been an uphill battle for Cristiano. So yeah, just really impressive stuff nonetheless from Papi to be able to pull this off. And yeah, it's been really cool to see him really rise over the past couple of months. I think you mentioned it before, but when we think about the Polish players, sorry, when we think about the Protoss players in Poland, we think of Geralt, we think of Mana, we think of Cristiano, we think of Art. We don't really think of Papi. At least we haven't for many years. It's only recently where Papi's been improving.
Yeah, he for the past few years he has been in that you know tier below, but it looks like he is currently rising to the top. As you said, taking games of Elazar is pretty good, so he's getting there. He definitely he may become like part of that, you know, top of the Polish scene very soon.
It's very possible, We'll see if he can really translate some of these results into an offline setting, because that's going to be that event, of course, in January. To reiterate as well, for people that are maybe tuning in towards the end here, being like, well, what are you talking about? These bi-weekly Polish events are leading into an offline finals towards the end of January.
Yeah, and on 27th of January, on Saturday, there will be the offline event in Warsaw in the House Gaming Bar, where these players will battle for prizes. I don't remember what exactly the price is. It's pretty solid.
Yeah, I'm sure there's going to be a Wikipedia page made, or it may already be made at this point.
It is.
Yeah, big chat.
I think that the official name of the tournament is House Galactic Battle.
Yeah,
that's the name.
The
Yeah.
House Galactic Battle. And of course, big shout out to Kashim. I see Kashim in the chat. He's one of the big people behind the event, going to be adminning and organizing and making sure that everything runs smoothly. So a big shout out to Kashim, of course, hosting that event right before IEM Katowice. And we will be bringing that event to you live in English. There you go.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't wait for another Polish marathon of the cast. Because if you remember, those broadcasts can get long.
They can, they can get long, Papi. They can get long. It's gonna be intense, Papi. It's gonna be intense, but we'll do our best. We'll do our best.
Oh yeah.
And yeah. Look, we're not
Maybe
new to marathon casts. It's fine.
Oh, definitely not. Maybe even I will cast a bit.
There we go. Yeah. I mean, you did last time. I think a little bit, right? Crazy. You did the production.
I think I did half. Maybe. I don't quite remember.
No, yeah,
but
I remember.
Because because if for those who don't know how the tournament works, I believe there is a group stage and then the playoffs, and the entire event is played on one day. It's a single day event.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of hours. I believe they said that the event opens at 9 a.m. I don't know when the matches start, but the venue opens at 9 a.m. So at that time you can come.
I have a request, Kashim. If we can maybe next time make it a 2-day event, I would appreciate it. I would
No,
appreciate
that's too
it
expensive.
to be a 2-day. Maybe. But I was gonna say that I remember last time myself and Asher, we casted the first half and then you casted the second half. If you recall. So, yeah, we may try and do that again here in the lead up to January. Otherwise, thank you so much everyone for tuning in. Match is on 10 a.m. and it's on Saturday. Let's go. But yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed themselves and everyone look forward to that event in January, the big offline Polish finals. Again, we're going to be bringing it to you live here in English on the CranKy Ducklings, so hit that follow button and also support Kashim as well. Again, he's a big part of the scene, not just when it comes to adminning and organizing tournaments, but he's a big part of Wikipedia as well. Kashim is one of the biggest contributors of Wikipedia, and without him, StarCraft will be worse off. So thank you, Kashim. Thank you.
Also, since we're talking about contributors, he's also one of the main contributors of Ali Gulag.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. True. Yeah.
Without Kashim, you would not have Ali Gulag. Like, he's not part of the developers, but he's probably the most active editor of that website.
100%. I almost forgot. So yeah, like if you use Wikipedia or if you use Ali Gulag, Kashim, he's behind both in a big way. So much love to Kashim. Much love.
And he never stops editing. Like day and night. No. He's always online.
No, he's the editor. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, everyone. Thank you so much for the support. Kuro, I know a lot of people may have just heard you for the first time. I know you haven't been active too much here on the channel casting, and we've gotten a lot of new viewers. So why don't you let the people know a little bit more about yourself?
Yeah, so I am Kuro, also known as 16 Squad Sanseki in the chat. I know that's a long name, but it happens to be unique. And I am one of the co-founders of CranKy Ducklings. So we co-founded this organization, let's put it that way, in 2017, and I've been here since the beginning. And I'm generally not a caster. It's not my area of expertise, to put it that way, but I'm usually behind all that you see, like the overlays, like the social media, like the Discord, like a lot of the things that are happening behind the scenes I'm probably involved in. So if you like what you see, then make sure to follow the channel. And maybe if you're on our Discord, maybe you can even spot a personal stream of mine as well.
There you go.
Meanwhile, what about you, Light?
! Kuro in the chat. The link is there. The socials are there as well. So if you're interested, you can follow Kuro. Again, likewise, if you're unfamiliar with myself, I'm casting, of course, but like Kuro, I'm a co-founder. I'm a co-founder of the CranKy Ducklings. We both founded the CranKy Ducklings together many years ago. Many years ago, pre-COVID, back 2017, 2016. We've been at working for or on the.
Technically, the clan was created in 2015.
There you go, 2015.
Well, it was a clan back then.
Yeah. That was before we started casting, before we started hosting events. But we've been around for a very long time working on the CranKy Ducklings, and of course, I'm one of the main casters here. That's the full-time casting, probably full-time casting. But if you're interested, I do try to stream as well every now and then. I try to ladder on my own personal channel, !light in the chat. I rarely have time to ladder and stream on my personal channel just because I'm always casting here. But if I ever have the time, if I ever have the energy for it, you can find me there on my own personal channel. I ladder StarCraft, I play Final Fantasy 14, and sometimes some other games, maybe Diablo 4 with Asher, Diablo 2 with Asher, some other games. Yeah, you can find me there if you're interested. Otherwise,
Have you finished Spider-Man?
Otherwise, you can follow us on the CranKy Ducklings ! Socials in the chat, and you can get a link to all of our social media. We have a Discord, we have a Twitter, we have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have Mastodon, we have Blue Sky, we have a YouTube !YouTube in the chat. We also stream to YouTube, so if you're interested, you can follow our streams on YouTube. Otherwise, you can, of course, watch our VODs, because we do upload VODs on a daily basis on our YouTube channel, so check it out. A lot of content is there. If you're one that enjoys VODs, YouTube is the place to be, because we upload everything to YouTube. Every single match, every single game, it's all there. It's a lot of content.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we have thousands of videos at this point.
We do.
And I'm not even joking.
Yeah. So with that, thank you so much for watching, everyone. Thanks so much for the support. Big shout out to all the people that did tune in today. Thank you. I saw Terran Lord, I saw Sinistro towards the end, Alex G Punk, thank you. Boptimus Prime, always see you lurking in the chat, Boptimus, thank you.
Also, as we were casting, I might have seen Terran Lord playing the game.
Yeah. The Lord of Terrans is back. He's back. Beautiful.
I'm shocked. I thought that day is never gonna come, but apparently there it is.
It's crazy, Bobby. It's crazy. Great to see you back, Tara. Great to see you back. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Thanks so much for the support. Kira, do you have anything you want to say before we head up for the night?
Merry Christmas to the Polish scene. Yes.
True. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays, everyone. Enjoy. Our next broadcast is going to be in less than 24 hours time. We're going to be live here with World Team League WTL. Day 1 is going to be in 15 hours. So if you're going to be awake, if you're going to be alive in 15 hours, I'll try to be alive as I'll try.
I like how your voice is just getting weird. Like if you're gonna be there. Oh my god.
In 15 hours, we're going to be live with WTL, so make sure you're a part of that. World Team League, the final week, the final couple of days of the round robin stage of World Team League is starting in 15 hours time. Be a part of it.
Yeah, come join us.
Otherwise, thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for the support. We'll see you guys next time. Until then, bye.
Bye.